Chapter 1332. High Mountain City, Feishue Residence. Shadow Lord and Wise Wizard City Master were not in a rush to leave. Instead, they prepared a sumptuous banquet through the Heavenswell Pavilion, inviting Dongbua Shui Ying over. It's all because of that North River who lured us here to deal against Feishue God Emperor. Shadow Lord sat there. He was relatively furious. If we knew that Brother Feishue is so strong, we would never have come. That's right. He is quite fast at escaping. We can't trace him at all. If this North River is so capable, as long as he dares to show himself, I'll definitely not let him off. Wise Wizard City Master gritted his teeth. Right? We must not let him off. Shadow Lord gritted his teeth. The two of them were so furious that they were gritting their teeth. Before coming, they did not know that Feishue God Emperor specialized in soul techniques. If they knew how strong his soul techniques were, they would not have come. Because every cultivator who stepped on the path of cultivation understood that the soul was the foundation. If his soul techniques could threaten God Emperor Grand Perfection Realm, then his attainments in the soul aspect would absolutely be unparalleled in the entire divine realm. How could they easily become enemies with such a character? It's just that Great Emperor North River knew this point. That was why he deliberately concealed it. As long as Great Emperor North River did not say anything, Shadow Lord and Wise Wizard City Master would not have thought that there would be someone with such a heaven-defying soul. The two of them were used to rampaging and could not think of anyone who could pose such a fatal threat to them. This North River is hiding. I'm afraid he won't easily show himself, Dongbua Shui said. After leaving this world, it would be hard for him to return. After offending you, Feishue God Emperor, how would he dare to show himself? Wise Wizard City Master chuckled. Because Dongbua Shui could not deal against him temporarily, and Wise Wizard City Master was ranked slightly lower than Shadow Lord. His accumulations were lesser. Hence, Dongbua Shui merely mentioned 50,000 chaotic origin crystal jades, and both parties had resolved their enmity. Amen? Dongbua Shui suddenly looked up. The starlight was dazzling. A dim starlight passage appeared above High Mountain City. 3 figures came walking out from within. One was the simple, gray-robed male, Iron Dragon City Master. The other was plump and was Starwind City Master. The final one was the enchanting woman who carried an enormous scimitar on her back, Red Medicine Ship Owner. Iron Dragon City Master, Little Red Yao, and the others are here as well? Wise Wizard City Master raised his head and smiled in surprise. They came so quickly. Iron Dragon City Lord actually arrived so quickly. How rare. Shadow Lord also said. They had purposely invited Dongbua Shui to a banquet to stall for time, because they knew that news of the battle would spread across the divine world in the shortest time possible. There would be many people who would come to visit the Feishue God Emperor. At that time, with a large group of God Emperor full circle experts present, it would prove that the two of them had reconciled with the Feishue God Emperor. If the Feishue God Emperor decided to take revenge in the future, he would probably be laughed at in secret. Reaching this level, experts still cared a lot about their reputation. Brother Feishue, Iron Dragon City Master laughed out loud. I've been searching for you for a long time. Dongbua Shui immediately stood up with a smile. Feishue merely wishes to live in seclusion and enjoy some peaceful days. I hope for Iron Dragon City Master to understand. Understand. Forgive me. Do you dare to not forgive me? I'm afraid I'm not your opponent anymore. Iron Dragon City Master chuckled. Iron Dragon City Master, Little Red Yao, Brother Starwind, come over and have a seat. Wise Wizard City Master shouted. Iron Dragon City Master, Red Medicine Ship Owner, and the others acknowledged. They came over and sat down. Feishue God Emperor, in a while, we will be sparring. Red Medicine Ship Owner looked at Dongbua Shui. Sparring? Dongbua Shui looked at her. Red Medicine Ship Owner's ranking was not high. She was considered average amongst God Emperor Grand Perfection experts, and was comparable to Wise Wizard City Master. It should be considered as pointers. Let Feishue God Emperor guide Red Yao. Red Medicine Ship Owner chuckled. I also wish to have a good spar with you, Brother Feishue. Iron Dragon City Master said. Donghua Shui Ying nodded with a smile. He could feel the suppressed, fighting spirit and desire from these two. Reaching this stage of grand perfection, the next step would be the ultimate awakening. Iron Dragon City Master and Red Medicine Ship owner usually did not care about worldly affairs. They were both pursuing the chaotic origin level. Now that there was Donghua Shui Ying, who was close to the top ranker on the God Emperor ranking list, they naturally desired a battle to temper themselves. On this day, many experts came to High Mountain City. More than half of God Emperor Grand Perfection experts from the Divine Realm had come. Even the strongest ascendant in the Tao of Void, late-stage God Emperor Ascendant, God Emperor Yin Fei, had come too. And on this day, the three great royal clans similarly paid attention to this ascendant who lived in seclusion in High Mountain City, Feishuet God Emperor. Hua Hua Hua, a myriad of stars revolved around a floating island. Every star was approximately 500 kilometers in size. All of them were emitting light. Under the illumination of the myriad of stars, this island was like a dream. This island was the extreme star island of one of the three great royal clans in the Divine Realm, the Extreme Star Clan. On the Extreme Star Island, within a towering palace, a man and a woman were seated at the highest position. Below them were 9 elders from the Elder Assembly of the Extreme Star Island. The news is accurate, right? That black-robed male looked downwards. He nonchalantly said, Your Highnesses, I have just confirmed this news with the Heavenswell clan. The Heavenswell clan has used the Heavenswell well to observe the situation, and it is indeed accurate. An elder respectfully said, That Feishuet God Emperor has indeed fought one against 3 and defeated 3 Grand Perfection God Emperors. It is fine that Shadowlord and Wise Wizard City Master are famous. But that mysterious God, Emperor Grand Perfection Expert who wields a sword might not be heard of before, but the strength he displayed is extremely frightening. Even the 3 of them were defeated. One can see how powerful Feishuet God Emperor is. Furthermore, I have personally contacted Shadowlord and Wise Wizard City Master. Both Shadowlord have said that this Feishuet God Emperor possesses a terrifying soul technique. Even the 2 of them are only left with 20 to 30% of their original strength. Soul technique? The black-robed male exchanged glances with the white-robed girl by the side. Big brother, our divine realm has never seen such a formidable expert who specializes in soul techniques before. The white-robed girl said, We should inform Father about the rise of such an expert. Amen. The black-robed male nodded slightly. All right. Let's inform Father. The 2 of them had esteemed statuses, precisely because they were the children of one of the 3 great chaotic origin ancestral gods, Extreme Star Ancestral God. It's just that the siblings were extremely respectful towards their father. After all, their father was a chaotic origin expert who had jumped out of the cage. They would not disturb their father if it wasn't something important. In the past, Cloud Phoenix City Master had once attracted the attention of Father and the others. But after that, there was no more news about her. Cloud Phoenix City Master is still in our world. The white-robed girl said, I wonder if this Feishuet God Emperor could attract sufficient attention this time. No matter what, the soul is the foundation of life. Since he has such unfathomable attainments in the soul, he is qualified for us to inform Father. The black-robed male flipped his hand, bringing out a piece of translucent command token. There were many stars revolving on the command token. It was exactly the same as the stars revolving around the Extreme Star Island in the external world. This command token was a protective treasure. He and his little sister each had one. They could protect themselves and similarly contact their father. The 9 elders below revealed a look of respect when they saw this. In the Extreme Star Clan, only these 2 majesties were qualified to contact a chaotic origin ancestral god. Father, the black-robed male held onto the command token and directly contacted his father. Golden Sacred Clan. After the 2 Golden Sacred Brothers investigated thoroughly, they even sent a Grand Perfection God Emperor expert from their clan to High Mountain City to understand the situation. Only then did they inform their father, one of the three great chaotic origin ancestral gods, golden sacred ancestral god, Heavenswell clan. The three sisters from the Heavenswell clan received the news the fastest. They were similarly filled with disbelief. They had long received the orders from their mother and naturally determined that this Feishu god emperor was qualified to inform their mother. In the past, even though there were some grand perfection ascendants who were god emperors in the divine realm, but there has never been anyone with such a powerful soul technique. The soul is the foundation of life. If the Tao of soul reaches a high level, it should be different from other Tao paths, right? The three sisters discussed curiously. At the same time, they contacted their mother, Heavenswell ancestral god. Chapter 1333. In a miniature world that spanned just a few tens of thousands of kilometers, an enormous female sculpture that was more than 1,000 meters tall stood by the side of Tall Mountain. The mountain by the side was slightly shorter than this female sculpture. The weak beings in this world were all sincerely kowtowing to her. Empress Heavenswell. Empress Heavenswell. Many people cowed out. After all, to such a weak world, transcendence could be counted with one's fingers. This 1,000-meter-tall sculpture was simply a miracle. Suddenly, this enormous female sculpture actually opened her eyes. There was a strand of shock in her eyes. South. A blurred figure flew out from this enormous sculpture. She landed on a small island by the sea. She was none other than an absolute beauty wearing a moon-white gown. Her appearance represented the manifestation of laws at the chaotic origin level. Ordinary beings could not help but worship her when they saw her. And at this moment, two other figures descended. They were two males. One was emitting a faint light, and the other had 1,000,000,000,000 stars revolving around him. Heavenswell, little sister Heavenswell. The two of them were very passionate. The three of them were the three chaotic origin ancestral gods. Empress Heavenswell sat down. She lightly waved her sleeves, causing two huge rocks to appear by the side. Golden sacred ancestral god and extreme star ancestral god also sat down. The two of you have received the news too? Empress Heavenswell chuckled. Yes, I've heard it's an ascendant. Golden sacred ancestral god said. In terms of soul technique, it is so strong that even God Emperor has to divert 80 to 90% of his heart force to resist against it. Such a soul technique is simply unfathomable. I have never heard of it before. I have never heard of it either. Extreme Star Ancestral God shook his head. I have never heard of it when I interacted with other chaotic origin experts, right? Empress Heavenswell softly nodded. We have never heard of it even after a long time since we stepped into the chaotic origin level. Even though our statuses are ordinary amongst chaotic origin experts, we have interacted with quite a few chaotic origin experts. We were even fortunate enough to meet the magnificent Overlord. According to logic, we should be quite well informed. Yet we have never heard of it before. This means that the number of experts with such a powerful soul technique should be even lesser than the number of chaotic origin experts. Extreme Star Ancestral God and Golden Sacred Ancestral God nodded. Their eyes brightened. Those lowest-graded chaotic origin life forms were excluded. After all, those life forms had ordinary intelligence and could not perfectly unleash their strength. They were so weak that they could not even fight against some half-chaotic origin life form bodies. Those who could cultivate to the half-chaotic origin life form body would be able to perfectly unleash the strength of their fleshy body. For instance, some ascendants would be able to utilize their strength in a more profound manner, allowing them to easily kill some weaker chaotic origin life forms. True chaotic origin experts were actually few in number. There is no need to mention those who controlled an origin world, which was even rarer. Even those who succeeded in the ultimate awakening were pitifully few. Previously, we have once offered an ascendant with a half-chaotic origin life form body. Empress Heavenheart said, although the mighty Overlord sent an emissary to receive us, I'm afraid he didn't care too much about it. Amen. Even if those ascendants reached the half-chaotic origin life form body, they would not be able to reach the half-chaotic origin life form body. The possibility of breaking through to the chaotic origin level was still extremely low. Why would the Great Lord care? Sacred Gold Elder God said, I've heard that the most ancient and mighty Thane, Jin, is willing to spend all of his resources on the weak. That's why the other Thanes are willing to help him. Extreme Star Ancestral God said, this time, an expert with such a terrifying Tao of soul has appeared in our world. If the magnificent Overlord knew about it, he would likely be delighted. If the magnificent Overlord is happy, perhaps we might not have to stay in this lightning world cluster anymore. Empress Heavenheart said, if we could improve further and reach the world realm, we might not have to stay here anymore. Extreme Star Ancestral God was relatively unwilling. No other choice, even though they had jumped out of the cage and were chaotic origin experts. But the three of them had succeeded in the simplest Tao, the ultimate awakening. Once they succeeded in the ultimate awakening, they would immediately become high-graded chaotic origin life forms. They were much stronger than those weak, ordinary, innate chaotic origin life forms. They could casually pinch a half-chaotic origin life form body to death. But high-graded chaotic origin life forms were considered the lowest level amongst chaotic origin experts. Because this was the easiest way to break through, those who possessed chaotic origin bloodlines would have an easier time cultivating. Hence, there were many who could reach the grand perfection realm, supreme realm, of God Emperor God in the vast chaotic origin dimension. And there were those who succeeded in the ultimate awakening. Only those who could control an origin world were formidable. They were a level stronger than those who had awakened to the ultimate awakening. Those who could control an origin world were also known as world realm chaotic origin life forms. They were considered apex experts amongst chaotic origin life forms. If they were in their own origin world, they would be unparalleled. Only those who have comprehended the Tao and jumped out of the cage to become a chaotic origin life form could have the chance to control an origin world. Golden Sacred Ancestral God shook his head, and only those at that level could make the magnificent Overlord view them differently. Us? Don't be discouraged. Empress Heavenheart said, our ultimate awakening is called ancestral atavism. We can also continuously dig out our bloodline energy. If the magnificent Overlord is willing to help us, we might have some hope. Golden Sacred Ancestral God shook his head. Heaven's will, you are the strongest amongst the three of us. Currently, you are just a strand away from breaking through. This time, if the magnificent Overlord were to bestow you with that ascendant called Face You a God Emperor, you might have a chance of breaking through. By then, Extreme Star and I will have to rely on you. Two big brothers, how difficult is it to break through? Empress Heavenheart said. Her eyes were filled with anticipation. Two big brothers, then I will directly report to the magnificent Overlord. Empress Heavenheart swept her gaze across Golden Sacred Ancestral God and Extreme Star Ancestral God by the side. All right, Golden Sacred Ancestral God and Extreme Star Ancestral God nodded. They were even slightly nervous. Because they did not have any important matters, they did not dare to disturb that magnificent Overlord. When the three chaotic origin ancestral gods were contacting the magnificent Overlord in that divine realm, within Feishuer residence in High Mountain City, Dongbua Shui Ying was meeting an ascendant, God Emperor, alone. Yin Fei God Emperor. Dongbua Shui chuckled as he held his wine cup. I've heard of the fame of God Emperor and have long wanted to meet him. Who would have thought that such a matter would happen, allowing those three God Emperors to surround and attack me? However, it does allow me to meet the God Emperor in advance. Feishua God Emperor is not any weaker than me in terms of the Void lineage. He has also similarly grasped the ultra-long distance teleportation. Yin Fei God Emperor chuckled. Furthermore, he has even more formidable soul techniques. I believe only Cloud Phoenix City Master could compete with you, Feishua God Emperor, on the God Emperor list in this divine realm. Dongbua Shuang chuckled. This person in front of him was the only late-stage ascendant of God Emperor who comprehended the Void lineage. I've reached the late-stage God Emperor. It is incredibly difficult for me to improve any further. Yin, Fei God Emperor sighed. We are different from those natives of the divine realm. Those natives of the divine realm are born with chaotic origin bloodlines. They are born with immortality. Any child from the natives of the divine realm could easily become an overlord in some of the lower realms. Even after reaching the God Emperor level, every single step we take is incredibly difficult. Yet there are a group of natives of the divine realm who have reached the grand perfection realm of God Emperor. Dongbua Shui-Ying nodded in agreement. Without bloodline energy, it was too difficult to rely on oneself to improve. Reaching the final realm, according to combat strength, it would only be at the king level, God Monarch level. There are many innate chaotic origin life forms in this world. These ascendants could ponder and comprehend them. Only then would they have some hope of perfecting their bloodlines to the level of God Emperor. But it was too difficult to reach the half-chaotic origin life form body, because bloodline energy, as long as one fully excavated the bloodline energy to the pinnacle of grand perfection, that was the grand perfection realm of God Emperor. But ascendants, and those like Dongbua Shui-Ying, had to create their bloodlines from scratch. They had to create a half-chaotic origin life form body. Because it was too difficult, they had to be firm in every step they took. That was how they could fight against those at a higher level. But even after reaching the half-chaotic origin life form body, those with chaotic origin bloodlines could only undergo the ultimate awakening. As for ascendants and Dongbua Shui-Ying, it would be harder for them to take another step after attaining the half-chaotic origin life form body, because the next step would be comprehending a Tao at the chaotic origin level, relying on one's own comprehension to reach the chaotic origin level, that was using strength to break through. Those who could spread religion, refine part of the origin source, and control the origin source of an origin world to become a chaotic origin life form would control an origin world. It was very powerful, but it was even more amazing to rely on oneself to break through step by step until the chaotic origin level. It was an almost impossible path. Many who reached the half-chaotic origin life form body would instead start thinking of ways to refine the origin source of an origin world and control the origin world to become a chaotic origin life form. No choice. Using strength to break through was more than 10 times more difficult. Hence, they could only choose a second path. This path is too difficult. There are many worlds beneath the lightning world, and there are too many ascendants. Before Feishua God Emperor appeared, I've already reached the pinnacle of the void lineage across many worlds. Yin Fei God Emperor shook his head bitterly. But I'm only a late-stage God Emperor. It is still far from reaching the half-chaotic origin life form body. The reason I came here today is because I hope to exchange cultivation scriptures with Brother Feishua. I know you and I should be walking in different directions, but we should be able to corroborate each other. It will be helpful to both of us in reaching the half-chaotic origin life form body. Asterisk, asterisk. Chapter 1334. God Emperor Yin Fei. What you said is exactly what I want to do. Dongbua Shui-Ying added, reaching the final realm in the Tao of Void. He had reached grand perfection in the pure, profound mysteries of void. Further up, he would be absorbing other profound mysteries into his Tao of Void. With the Tao of Void as the core, he would absorb other profound mysteries, eventually forming a higher level Tao. For instance, even though Emperor Summer specialized in the Tao of Void, the direction he pursued was to nurture a chaotic origin level fleshy body using the chaotic origin dimension fetus. As for Dongbua Shui-Ying, he used the Tao of Void as his foundation and relied on the chaotic origin energy to modify and perfect his fleshy body. The process of modification was also the process of perfecting his Tao. When his fleshy body reached the chaotic origin level, his Tao would also reach the chaotic origin level. The reason why Dongbua Shui-Ying did this was firstly because of the influence the chaotic origin 7 strikes had on him. Secondly, his soul was strong enough that it could nourish his fleshy body, perfecting his fleshy body. By nourishing his fleshy body with his soul, it would allow Dongbua Shui Ying to understand where the flaws of his body were, giving him a clearer direction. I have cultivated step by step from a weak little world to where I am now. It is rare for cultivators to have transcendence in my hometown world. I ascended with the identity of the strongest expert in the history of my world, from a lower-level world to a higher-level world. Every time I ascend, the world I am will be able to withstand a greater amount of energy. God Emperor Yin Fei said, "Along the way, I have become the disciple of more than 100 teachers. I have borrowed from many cultivation scriptures and created many cultivation scriptures." God Emperor Yin Fei flipped his hand, causing a transparent book that was flashing with golden light to appear. Yin 80th style. This is the highest achievement I have in the Void lineage after cultivating for many years. I have always been working hard to create the 81st style. If I could create it, I would most likely have a half-chaotic origin lifeform body. Saying that, he passed this transparent book over. Dongbua Shuang flipped his hand too, bringing out a gray book, Chaotic Origin Refinement Body. My path of cultivation has similarly absorbed the wisdom of many predecessors. I have also become the disciple of several teachers, comprehending the world and researching on chaotic origin life forms. Only then did I cultivate to my current stage. I am similarly at the late stage God Emperor. This chaotic origin refinement body. It was originally a body refinement technique created by Emperor Summer in the Chaotic Origin Dao Scroll. When Dongbua Shui Ying obtained it, it only had the first 2 levels. Even if one successfully cultivated it, it would only be barely comparable to the physical body of the ultimate body refinement school. After that, Dongbua Shui Ying's strength improved tremendously, and he even surpassed his master. For the sake of creating a higher level, Emperor Summer had come over to interact with Dongbua Shui Ying and comprehend it together. But at that time, the two of them could only push this chaotic origin refinement body to the Grand Perfection King realm, Grand Perfection God Monarch realm. He was only one step away from the Emperor level, God Emperor level. At that time, the two of them would part ways. They had no choice but to go in different directions. Dongbua Shui Ying was breaking through step by step on this path. God Emperor's early stage, middle stage, and late stage were not easy at all. Fortunately, his soul could be said to be the strongest soul beneath chaotic origin. His comprehension abilities and other aspects had reached an unfathomable stage. Furthermore, his soul could nourish his fleshy body, guiding him in the right direction. This allowed Dongbua Shui Ying to achieve twice the results with half the effort. He had even researched that void lineage innate chaotic origin lifeform corpse for 300 billion years before he reached the late-stage God Emperor realm. How difficult was that? Who? Yin Fei God Emperor softly let out a breath. He received the scripture. Dongbua Shui Ying similarly received the scripture solemnly. This was the crystallization of their wisdom. Because of how difficult it was for them to cultivate, they respected the other party even more. 80 Styles of Swallow. Dongbua Shui Ying immersed himself in it after reading it. The first style of 80 Styles of Swallow was very weak. Dongbua Shui Ying estimated that the first style could only be at the true God ruler realm level. Furthermore, it was a combat technique, and not a body refinement technique. The first style, the second style, the third style, it continued to grow. One could also see the process of God Emperor Yin Fei's improvement. This originally heaven-defying combat technique would gradually transform and nourish the fleshy body, making the fleshy body more suitable for combat. During this process, his fleshy body would continue to grow stronger, changing and adapting to new combat techniques, changing my fleshy body from a perspective suitable for combat, using combat to cultivate. This direction could not be said to be more profound than heaven and earth, realmless, and void devil insect scripture. Even though there was no difference in strength between the Tao paths, there was a difference in their strengths and weaknesses. Clearly, God Emperor Yin Fei had reached the late-stage God Emperor realm on his Tao path. At least in this divine realm, other ascendants of the Void lineage could not walk as far as Yin Fei God Emperor. Donghua Shuiying, who came from an alternate world, did not count. He is actually using the chaotic origin energy to cultivate. Yin Fei God Emperor looked at Donghua Shuiying with admiration. Admirable, admirable. Fei Shui God Emperor, you actually thought of using the energy from the chaotic origin crystal jade to cultivate. When we are weak, a piece of chaotic origin crystal jade is incomparably precious to us. Donghua Shuiying chuckled. He did not explain further. In the origin world, when a membrane wall was broken, chaotic origin energy would seep in. But in this world, it was quite difficult to obtain chaotic origin energy. Firstly, it was through the chaotic origin crystal jade. That was the condensed essence of extremely pure chaotic origin energy. Secondly, there were some unique places in the divine realm where chaotic origin energy resided. Of course, there were some treasures that contained chaotic origin energy that could be used. During the initial period when Donghua Shuiying came to this world, even though his body was unstable due to the conflict with the laws, the amount of chaotic origin energy contained in his body was still huge. After he cultivated the Great Destruction Realm teleportation technique, he originally planned to go to some unique places to absorb the chaotic origin energy. But later on, he discovered that a piece of chaotic origin crystal jade contained a huge amount of chaotic origin energy. Furthermore, it was gentle to his body. Hence, he had been using the chaotic origin crystal jade to cultivate. How about we have a spar? Donghua Shuiying chuckled. All right. Yin Fei God Emperor's eyes brightened. He nodded. Battling was also a form of practice for the Tao of Void. In High Mountain City, within a restaurant, there were currently two girls seated opposite each other. Big sister, let's just wait here. We have already waited for 3 days. Fire Phoenix God Emperor said with slight dissatisfaction. Don't be in a rush. Wait till the other God Emperors have left before we go. Cloud Phoenix City Master sat there leisurely. She was naturally here to meet Donghua Shuiying, but given her temper, she was too lazy to meet other God Emperor experts. So many Grand Perfection God Emperor experts came to visit Donghua Shuiying. Cloud Phoenix City Master would rather wait for the last few days before meeting them. I've already waited for a long time. I'm not in a rush for a few more days. Cloud Phoenix City Master revealed a grin. Who would have thought that the one who dealt against my grandson in the past would actually be the Fei Shui God Emperor? Furthermore, he is so powerful. It is truly fortunate for us to have such an expert. Cloud Phoenix City Master was indeed delighted. She had long been unparalleled in this divine realm. Her strength was much higher than the second ranked on the God Emperor list. Currently, there were 2 types of Grand Perfection God Emperor experts in the divine realm. One was Cloud Phoenix City Master, and the other was the other Grand Perfection God Emperor experts. It was different from Donghua Shuiying, who relied on his soul technique to greatly reduce the strength of the Grand Perfection God Emperor experts. Cloud Phoenix City Master fought head-on. Even if those Grand Perfection God Emperor experts could exert their full strength, Cloud Phoenix City Master would still be able to suppress them. Those who were weaker in survivability might even die. There were once Grand Perfection ascendants of God Emperor, Cloud Phoenix City Master said, but they disappeared in the end. I guess they should have left this world. For them to do so, it should be related to the 3 chaotic origin ancestral gods. But I have never been able to leave. Cloud Phoenix City Master sneered softly. Is it because you think I am weak? Fire Phoenix God Emperor became silent by the side. She was clear that her elder sister was unparalleled in the divine realm. She was also clear that her elder sister was lonely and unparalleled in the divine realm. Yin Fei God Emperor has left. Cloud Phoenix City Master stood up. Go, let us meet this Fei Shui God Emperor. We finally meet. This Yin Fei God Emperor has actually delayed for so long. I am getting impatient from waiting. Fire Phoenix God Emperor stood up. Cultivating the heart. Cloud Phoenix City Master helplessly shook her head. I am an innate chaotic origin life form. Why would I cultivate the heart? Fire Phoenix God Emperor snorted. innate chaotic origin life forms. Even the most ordinary ones were born emperors, God Emperor. She got to know Cloud Phoenix City Master. Under the help of Cloud Phoenix City Master, she gradually understood her own strength. She was able to unleash her own strength. And now, she had reached the grand perfection realm of God Emperor. Donghua Shuiying had just sent off Yin Fei God Emperor. Just as he sat down to ponder over the scene of him fighting with Yin Fei God Emperor, he suddenly felt two auras coming. A guest has arrived. Donghua Shuiying stood up. Another guest? By the side, Nobuke's Kiyoshi, who was pouring wine for her teacher, felt slightly dazed. She took the wine flask and turned over. Two figures had already descended from midair. One was a white-robed girl, and the other was a fiery red-robed girl. These two clearly did not hide their identities. They had revealed their true appearances. Nobuke's Kiyoshi recognized the identity of these two with a single glance. She could not help but be startled. Cloud Phoenix City Master, Fire Phoenix God Emperor. Cloud Phoenix City Master was ranked first on the God Emperor ranking list. Face you a God Emperor. Why don't you go out for a walk? Cloud Phoenix City Master chuckled. My pleasure. Donghua Shuiying chuckled. He understood why Cloud Phoenix City Master came. He turned to his female disciple by his side. Kiyoshi, I will be back in a while. He immediately left with Cloud Phoenix City Master and Fire Phoenix God Emperor. Nobuke's Kiyoshi raised her head to look at everything. Master, Nobuke's Kiyoshi muttered to herself. For the past 3 days, under the instructions of her master, she had also met with many God Emperor cultivators. But Nobuke's Kiyoshi had an indescribable feeling that the disparity between her and her master was simply too great. In fact, Nobuke's Kiyoshi even had a feeling that everything was unreal. It was as though everything was a dream. It's real. He's my master, Nobuke's Kiyoshi said to herself. Chapter 1335. Outside High Mountain City, deep within the great wilderness, Fire Phoenix God Emperor was watching the battle by the side. He was watching the two who stood opposite each other in midair. One was a white-robed male, and the other was a white-robed female. Donghua Shuiying and Cloud Phoenix City Master were both garbed in white. It's just that their temperaments were entirely different. At this moment, Cloud Phoenix City Master was releasing a grand aura that covered the world and suppressed everything. Even the world was trembling under her aura. Donghua Shuiying's aura was illusory and made others revere him. After all, Donghua Shuiying's soul was unparalleled beneath chaotic origin experts. When he released his aura without holding back, it naturally made other experts revere him. Face you a God Emperor, please do your best. Because in the divine realm, ever since I reached my current realm, I have always been the one bullying others. Nobody has ever posed a sufficient threat to me. Cloud Phoenix City Master's eyebrows were filled with killing intent. I'll definitely not disappoint you, Cloud Phoenix City Master. Donghua Shuiying was also filled with fighting spirit. Oh! The eyes of Cloud Phoenix City Master flashed with sharpness. The surrounding area of several million kilometers started distorting. A terrifying ripple also spread across this region. Donghua Shuiying heard an ear-piercing cry. It sounded like the cry of a bird. This cry caused the surrounding world to distort. It also forcefully permeated into the body of Donghua Shuiying, shaking his soul and internal organs. It also shook his bones and muscles. For a moment, Donghua Shuiying felt his body turning soft. His bones and muscles were trembling uncontrollably. This startled him greatly. The moment you unleashed your domain, it could reduce my strength by half. If you kill your way over, I would most likely die in 2 to 3 moves. Compared to a true God Emperor at the Grand Perfection realm, his fleshy body was much weaker. If he did not rely on his soul technique to fight head-on, he could fight against other experts. But only Cloud Phoenix City Master. Donghua Shuiying was forced to bring out his full strength at the first instance, using her bloodline energy to change the laws of the world and descend a domain. Donghua Shuiying thought, any innate, chaotic origin life form would have a body formed from the laws. Hence, as long as these God Emperor Grand Perfection life forms underwent an ultimate awakening and reverted to their ancestors, they could become members of the innate chaotic origin life form tribe, because their control over their bodies was more formidable. The moment they broke through, they would become high-graded chaotic origin life forms. And the body of a chaotic origin life form was like a world. For instance, the Broken Teeth Mountain Range was in reality formed from the corpses of two enormous chaotic origin life forms. You are the world. Naturally, it could descend the rules and the domain. The apex innate chaotic origin life forms could injure you on. They were comparable to an origin world by themselves. It was obvious that the domain that Cloud Phoenix City Master was displaying had already manifested a portion of the laws contained in her bloodline. She had a higher chance of ultimate awakening than any other perfect God Emperor, mirage and illusory realm. With a single thought from Dongbua Shui Ying, a massive illusory world descended, wanting to drag Cloud Phoenix City Master's soul into it. Cloud Phoenix City Master's expression changed slightly as she instantly used 70% of her heart force to resist against this illusion. What a formidable soul technique. Splitting her heart force to resist against the illusory realm, she was left with 30% of her heart force to continue fighting. Her strength immediately began decreasing. The originally terrifying domain dissipated. Because this domain itself required Cloud Phoenix City Master to use 20% to 30% of her heart force to maintain, she naturally gave up on the domain and tried her best to exert the strength of her body. See, Cloud Phoenix City Master pounced forward. Both her hands were like wings that slashed out. The world was split into two. A spear appeared in Dongbua Shui Ying's hand. With a twist of the spear, layers of spatial maelstrom were formed, blocking against the slashes of Cloud Phoenix City Master. Fortunately, Dongbua Shui Ying let out a sigh of relief. After dispersing the domain, he could maintain his peak strength. Cloud Phoenix City Master could barely exert half of her peak strength with just 30% of her heart force. This strength was roughly at the standard of Iron Dragon City Master. When the gap in strength wasn't too ridiculous, the profoundness of the realm and techniques could still make up for the gap. Hong hong hong, the battlefield between both parties had turned dark. The two strongest existences in the entire divine realm were currently fighting. Sister's strength has actually decreased by so much. Flame Phoenix God Emperor was watching from afar and couldn't help but be shocked. What a terrifying Feishue God Emperor. His soul force is actually so strong. The two of them were evenly matched. Cloud Phoenix City Master's speed was extremely fast, and her techniques were elegant. Her hands were like wings that were swift and sharp. Dongbua Shui Ying was even more mysterious and unpredictable. The surrounding space was being controlled by him. With a spear, the space would be suppressed like a piece of paper. Sometimes it would be like a bubble turning into a cage. Sometimes it would be stacked together. Although they were close, it was like they were worlds apart, causing Cloud Phoenix City Master to be unable to touch Dongbua Shui Ying at all. When one's own strength was displayed through various profound techniques, it was naturally much stronger. Although Cloud Phoenix City Master's techniques were so beautiful that it was shocking, she was still slightly weaker. She was only able to fight evenly with him because of her strength. Be careful. I nearly lost. Flame Phoenix God Emperor was extremely nervous. This Feishue God Emperor's techniques are too sinister. Luckily, Sister's body is strong enough. This battle lasted for an hour. The two of them finally stopped. To Dongbua Shui Ying, the gains were negligible, because he had sparred with other God Emperor Great Perfection stage experts before. Most of them didn't use their soul force. The moment they used their soul force, the other party would immediately admit defeat. It has been a long time since I was injured. Cloud Phoenix City Master looked at Dongbua Shui Ying and sighed. Today I was injured multiple times by Feishue God Emperor. Such injuries should be negligible to City Master. Shui Ying chuckled. Previously, he felt that this Cloud Phoenix City Master was the one with the strongest body amongst all the Grand Perfection God Emperors he met. Even Iron Dragon City Master was weaker by an entire level compared to Cloud Phoenix City Master in terms of body strength. Being injured by Feishua God Emperor means that my techniques aren't perfect enough. Cloud Phoenix City Master was delighted. She was different from Ascenders. Ascenders comprehended the Tao. However, she had unearthed the power of her bloodline. Once it reached perfection, she began to ponder the rules contained within her bloodline and applied it in battle. She had even managed to figure out that terrifying domain and many killing moves. But this exchange allowed her to discover her own flaws. Naturally, she had to fix them. The process of fixing was also a process of improving. Cloud Phoenix City Master, I have something that I need to trouble you for. Dongbua Shuang said. Oh, please speak. Cloud Phoenix City Master said. I hope that my disciple Imperial Wen Qingyin can become your disciple, and you can accept her as your disciple. Dongbua Shuang said. His original plan was for his female disciple to reach the early stage God Emperor Great Perfection stage before leaving this world stealthily. But now that his name had spread far and wide, he naturally had to make arrangements to prevent enemies from dealing against his disciple after he left. Nobike's Kiyoshi? Cloud Phoenix City Master was startled. She looked at Dongbua Shuang. Feishua God Emperor, unless you are planning to leave this divine realm. Leave? Dongbua Shuang was stunned. Cloud Phoenix City Master added, in the history of our divine realm, there have been many Grand Perfection Ascenders who emerged from the God Emperor Great Perfection stage. But the moment they appeared, they disappeared. Reaching this stage, it is impossible for them to die stealthily. There is no need for the three great chaotic origin ancestral gods to kill them. My guess is that they have left this world. Feishuet God Emperor, you are also an ascendant. Furthermore, you have reached an unfathomable realm in the Tao of Soul. I feel that you are much more amazing than the previous God Emperor Great Perfection stage ascendant. It is normal for the three great chaotic origin ancestral gods to bring you away from this world. Dongbua Shuang was inwardly startled. He had guessed it too. Previously, he had deduced from some clues that there should be a Grand Perfection ascendant from the God Emperor Great Perfection stage in this divine realm. This time, many experts came to visit him. Dongbua Shuang had interacted with them before. Naturally, he knew that his conjecture was right, because these Grand Perfection God Emperor Great Perfection stage experts had once fought with a terrifying God Emperor Great Perfection stage ascendant. Leave this world? Three great chaotic origin ancestral gods. Dongbua Shuang felt apprehensive inwardly. If he had to leave this world, he would rather leave by himself. Three great chaotic origin ancestral gods bringing him along. Maybe the three great chaotic origin ancestral gods did not have any malicious intent and were helping him. But they might have malicious intent. That would be the end of him. Comparatively speaking, Dongbua Shuang trusted Lord Lo Chung more and Yuan more. The three great chaotic origin ancestral gods have never contacted me before. Dongbua Shuang said, but I have to make some preparations. I am not too assured about my disciple. Hence, I hope for Cloud Phoenix City Master to help me. This is a minor matter. Cloud Phoenix City Master said, but my ambition does not lie here. How about this? That Nobike's Kiyoshi will take my little sister, Fire Phoenix, as her teacher. My little sister isn't a native of the divine realm. Instead, she is an innate chaotic origin life form. Even though the strength she exerts is at the Grand Perfection stage of God Emperor Great Perfection, in terms of survivability, she is much stronger than a native of the divine realm. Furthermore, she will not leave this divine realm. Dongbua Shuang revealed a joyous look at that moment. Good. I wonder if Fire Phoenix God Emperor is willing. Chapter 1336. In terms of survival capabilities, innate chaotic origin life forms far surpass the natives and ascendants of the divine realm. Even killing some early stage God Emperor or middle stage God Emperor innate chaotic origin life forms was extremely difficult. If he could unleash the grand perfection strength of God Emperor, then none other than the three chaotic origin ancestral gods could do anything to him. Like Hidden Willow Valley Master and Fire Phoenix God Emperor, they were the same. Rest assured, Fire Phoenix and I are like sisters. This small matter isn't a big deal. Cloud Phoenix City Master immediately turned to the distant Fire Phoenix God Emperor. South a flame flashed. Fire Phoenix God Emperor had already arrived. He looked at Dongbua Shui Ying with shock. Fei Shui God Emperor, are you going to leave this divine realm? Not yet, but I'm still making preparations. Dongbua Shui Ying said vaguely. Good. Rest assured, I will definitely protect that disciple of yours. Fire Phoenix God Emperor nodded. He then revealed a cunning smile. But I have a request. Please say. Dongbua Shuang said. Cloud Phoenix City Master was slightly stunned. Reaching their level, it was a simple matter for them to accept a disciple just for the sake of protection. And she even mentioned a request. Given the identity of Fei Shui God Emperor, asking for help from other Grand Perfection God Emperors was a minor matter. It was only because Cloud Phoenix City Master was ranked first on the God Emperor ranking list that she took the initiative to ask for help. Hence, when she heard her little sister's request, Cloud Phoenix City Master could not help but feel helpless. In the future, if you could become a chaotic origin life form, you must remember to bring me away from this world. Fire Phoenix God Emperor looked at Dongbua Shuang. Become a chaotic origin life form? Dongbua Shuang chuckled. All right, I can promise you. But why do you trust me so much? I feel that the chances of you becoming a chaotic origin life form are still slim. Fire Phoenix God Emperor shook her head. I've heard that ascendants do not have chaotic origin bloodlines, and it is hard for them to become a chaotic origin life form. But you should at least get some benefits. Who knows if you might become a chaotic origin life form in the future? Wouldn't I be able to turn things around? Dongbua Shuang smiled and nodded. All right, thank you for your kind words. He also vaguely understood. Even the most ordinary, innate, chaotic origin life forms would only be at the level of God Emperor. It was likely that they did not have a good life. There was no time to lose. Dongbua Shui was afraid that the three chaotic origin ancestral gods would come and bring him away, just like how they took away the other God Emperor perfect descenders. Therefore, on that very day, Nobuke's Kiyoshi became a disciple of the Fire Phoenix God Emperor. Disciple greets master. Although Nobuke's Kiyoshi was a little confused, she still obediently listened to Dongbua Shui Ying and officially became the disciple of Fire Phoenix God Emperor. Good. Fire Phoenix God Emperor looked at Nobuke's Kiyoshi. He felt quite satisfied. Today, I will be returning to the Cloud Phoenix City. You should come with us. Nobuke's Kiyoshi looked at Dongbua Shui Ying with slight hesitation. She clearly trusted Dongbua Shuang more. Go. Dongbua Shuang said, I originally planned to cultivate in seclusion. Now that my reputation has spread, the High Mountain City is no longer a suitable place for me to live in seclusion. I plan to leave. You should go to the Cloud Phoenix City instead. That place is more suitable for you to cultivate. Teacher is leaving? Nobuke's Kiyoshi was startled. She felt reluctant. We met in the past. Now, it is time for us to part. Dongbua Shuang said. All right. Fire Phoenix God Emperor said from the side. Your teacher Fei Shui is going to enter closed-door cultivation. You should not disturb him. When he is in closed-door cultivation, he would most likely ignore you even if you sent a message to him. Dongbua Shui Ying was startled. He nodded, right? This time, I'm not willing to be disturbed. Nobuke's Kiyoshi felt reluctant. She cannot even send a message? When can I meet teacher again? Nobuke's Kiyoshi asked. It might be a very long time later. Dongbua Shui Ying felt complex. The moment he left this world, when would he meet this disciple of his? He could not say for sure. That night, Dongbua Shui Ying left behind a storage treasure for his female disciple before leaving silently. Time to leave. Dongbua Shui Ying stood in the wilderness outside the High Mountain City. He looked at the distant city. After coming to this world, he had practically been living in seclusion in this city. Things might change if I delay. Who knows when the three chaotic origin ancestral gods might come and bring me away. Dongbua Ying looked at his wrist. A blood imprint appeared on his wrist. Following that, he activated it with a thought. So, a blood-red bubble wrapped around him. His entire body was wrapped up. Following that, his surroundings became blurry. Shwa. He disappeared from this world and proceeded to another one. Half a month after Dongbua Ying left this divine realm, Empress Heaven's Will and the other two chaotic origin ancestral gods stood amidst a patch of golden lightning. They were currently waiting patiently. He is here, Golden's sacred ancestral god said. The three of them raised their heads in anticipation. One could see a huge object flying in the chaotic origin dimension. Only when it got close did it turn into human form. It was a thin and small old man with a protruding mouth and monkey cheeks. Big Brother Chung. Empress Heavens will took the initiative to welcome him. Golden's sacred ancestral god and extreme star ancestral god followed behind. After all, Empress Heavens will have befriended many more chaotic origin experts than the two of them. For instance, this person who came had a good relationship with Empress Heaven's Will. Who would have thought that it is actually Big Brother Chung who came this time? Empress Heaven's Will was incredibly passionate. It has been a long time since we met, right? Little Sister Heaven's Will. This thin and small old man caressed his beard, sighing, "It has indeed been a long time." Seeing Little Sister Heaven's Will, "It seems you are about to break through soon? Haha, by then, you won't have to stay in this lightning world cluster anymore." How can I compare to Big Brother Chung? Big Brother Chung, what are you in charge of now? The Overlord actually sent you over to receive this little fellow? Empress Heavens Will said. The thin and small old man was relatively delighted. Currently, this big brother has become a small patrol in the 5th region under the Overlord. Your lightning world cluster is located within the 5th region and is also within my jurisdiction. Naturally, I am here to receive this little fellow. Patrol? Empress Heaven's Will and the other two were stunned. They were all innate chaotic origin life forms, and the territory managed by the Overlord was divided into 9 great regions. There were a total of 9 patrols in the 9 great regions. Chaotic origin experts were divided into 2 categories. One was the innate chaotic origin life forms, like those with chaotic origin bloodlines who underwent the ultimate awakening. Because their ancestors were innate chaotic origin life forms, they would revert to their ancestors after the ultimate awakening. They would then become members of the innate chaotic origin life form clan. The second category was to rely on their own cultivation step by step from being weak. They would either control an origin world to become a chaotic origin life form, or break through using force to become a chaotic origin life form. This second category was even stronger. Comparatively speaking, the first category was slightly discriminated against. To be able to get the position of patrol meant that he was definitely one of the generals under the Lord. Big Brother Chung is actually so amazing. I remember the other 8 patrols aren't innate chaotic origin life forms, right? Big Brother, it is amazing that you could become a patrol despite being an innate chaotic origin life form. Big Brother Chung. Golden's sacred ancestral god and extreme star ancestral god could not help but flatter him. But this flattery came from the bottom of their hearts. This Big Brother Chung was absolutely the pride of their tribe. It is also because of the Overlord's appreciation. The thin, small old man stroked his beard. "Oh right, where's that brat? Is it as you said, his soul is so strong that it could even injure a half-chaotic origin life form body? How would we dare to talk about such a huge matter? Big Brother Chung, please have a seat first. We will immediately bring that brat called Feishua God Emperor over." Empress Heavens Will said. The 3 of them brought the inspector to their mansions first. At the same time, they split their attention and began investigating the divine realm in search of that Feishua God Emperor. Amen? He isn't in the high mountain city? Where is Feishua God Emperor? Where is he? The 3 chaotic origin ancestral gods investigated and were stunned. Following that, They began frantically investigating the entire divine realm. They even began investigating the entire lightning world. Nothing, nothing. They still could not find him. Gone? The thin, small, old man stroked his beard. He frowned. Yes, he has suddenly disappeared in the wilderness outside High Mountain City. Empress Heaven's Will and the other two were incredibly nervous. They had used many techniques to investigate the scene where Dongbua Shueying left. It's just that they saw Dongbua Shueying arrive at the wilderness before disappearing. As for that blood-red bubble that enveloped him, they could not see anything at all. He could disappear stealthily. None of you can find him. The thin, small, old man frowned. He immediately had a deduction in his heart. Being an innate chaotic origin life form, he was able to reach such a high position and talk to some chaotic origin experts who controlled an origin world as equals. Naturally, he was extraordinary. The three of you are truly. Why didn't you capture him the moment you discovered him? The thin, small, old man frowned. We have never thought that he could disappear in the lightning world. Empress Heaven's Will and the other two felt helpless. They could guess some possibilities in their hearts, but no matter what, they did not dare to participate in this. The thin, small, old man stood up. All right, let's leave it like this. I still have to report back to the Overlord. Saying that, the thin, small, old man waved his sleeves. He immediately tore apart this divine realm and penetrated into the vast chaotic origin dimension. End of this chapter. The next chapter would be the grand finale. It was finally the final chapter of the entire Snow Eagle Overlord novel. Sigh. Chapter 1337. The blood-red bubble wrapped around Dongbua Shueying as it traveled through the chaotic origin dimension at a frightening speed. Shwa shwa shwa. Many huge origin worlds became blurry in his vision. They flashed by and disappeared. This is the second time, yet I still feel that this speed is ridiculously fast. Dongbua Shueying had a feeling that if a piece of chaotic origin sand were to fly at such a frightening speed, he would most likely be annihilated if it smashed onto his body. This time, he flew past a total of 1,200 over origin worlds. It was a lot further than the previous time. Amen. Dongbua Shueying widened his eyes in shock. Previously, in front of him, there were many cracks piercing through the chaotic origin dimension. These cracks were so long that they were much longer than the origin worlds. Dongbua Shueying could not see the end of them. These void cracks had been occupying a huge region ahead of him for a long period of time. It was like a heavenly moat that divided the chaotic origin dimension into two. So, the blood-red bubble flew at high speed. As it approached the countless void cracks, there was an unremarkable minor world. This world was very, very small. It was like an isolated island in the sea. Dongbua Shueying only discovered this unremarkable minor world the moment the blood-red bubble entered. He did not even have the time to see what this minor world looked like. He could only feel that this minor world could be destroyed at any moment. Whoa. At the moment he entered this world, Dongbua Shueying felt the scene in front of him changing. This was a relatively vast, ancient palace hall. At a corner of the hall, there was an array. He was currently standing at the center of the array. Another cultivator has arrived. A black-robed, tall, and thin male appeared within the palace hall. He walked towards Dongbua Shueying with a smile. Not good. Before Dongbua Shueying could say anything, he felt the internal structure of his fleshy body starting to crumble. Having experienced it previously, Dongbua Shueying did not panic. He knew that it was because the laws of this world were different from the lightning world. Haha, you can't maintain your body anymore. The black-robed man laughed. The laws of this world are different from your hometown. You need to adapt to the laws here. Adapting to different laws is beneficial to your eventual transcendence to the chaotic origin level. After all, the chaotic origin law can be used in all regions. Dongbua Shueying could not be bothered to say anything else as he tried his best to adapt to the rules of this world. He would change his body according to the laws of this world. Half an hour passed. Dongbua Shueying's fleshly body had fallen to the middle stage of God Emperor, but it was almost completely stable. To recover to the late stage of God Emperor, I'll need at least 1,000,000 years, Dongbua Shuang thought. However, the unstable late stage of God Emperor will probably be much faster. To be able to maintain God Emperor's late stage, fleshly body for a short period of time, it would probably only take 8 to 10 years. Regarding this, Dongbua Shuang was quite delighted. After all, his accumulations in the Tao of Void had deepened, allowing him to reach the half-chaotic origin life form body faster. As for becoming a chaotic origin life form, he was not in a rush for now. His primary goal for the Tao of Void was to reach the half-chaotic origin life form body. As for the Tao of Mirage and Illusory Realm, he had to reach the final realm first. Tao friend, have you stabilized your fleshly body? The black-robed male saw Dongbua Shuang opening his eyes before asking. Dongbua Shuang was slightly stunned. Tao friend? This humble one is Fei Xue. You are? Dongbua Shuang asked. He could not sense any aura from this person in front of him. Ah, I'm the treasure spirit of this guiding hall. The black-robed male chuckled. Treasure spirit? Dongbua Shuang nodded slightly. He then asked in puzzlement, Guiding hall? What is the meaning of this? Guiding. Naturally, it is to guide all of you who have ascended to this world. The black-robed male chuckled. I believe there should be legends of this place in your world too. Different worlds have different legends. Some say this is the cultivation sacred world, and some say this is the world of despair. Some say this is the exiled world, and some say this is the survival world. Regardless, it is not easy to survive here, and it is beneficial to cultivation. Dongbua Shuang was inwardly startled when he heard that. World of despair? Exiled world? These two names represented that this world would not be as comfortable as the lightning world previously. What not easy to survive? Tao friend, please have a look. The black-robed male waved his hand, causing a miniature illusory scene of the entire world to appear in midair. This world is practically filled with danger at every single location. The black-robed male pointed at this miniature world map. These 5 flashing spots are the 5 gathering grounds of the cultivators. Only here can you live in peace and cultivate in peace. Once you leave the gathering grounds, there are dangers everywhere. There are countless innate chaotic origin life forms, and all of them wish to hunt and kill you. Dongbua Shuang could not help but ask, countless? There were only a few dozen innate chaotic origin life forms in the Broken Teeth mountain range. Even though there were more in the lightning world, they were at an absolute disadvantage. The divine realm natives and ascendants in the lightning world held an absolute advantage. But this world, the number of cultivators was pitifully few. They were all confined to 5 gathering grounds. Other regions were filled with chaotic origin life forms. How many are there exactly? Dongbua Shuang could not help but ask. 10,000? 100,000? The Devil Gold River runs through the entire world. There are about 30,000 chaotic origin life forms living in this river. Look at the map. There are many places bigger than the Devil Gold River. The black-robed male said, As for how many there are, I am not sure. All right, this place, the Sea of Abyss. You must not get close to it. The black-robed male solemnly pointed at that black sea on the map. This sea did not cover a huge area. It was about 1/10 of the entire map. The Sea of Abyss is the most dangerous place in the entire world. You must absolutely not step into the Sea of Abyss. The black-robed male said, Even if you become the strongest expert in this world, you must absolutely not enter it. Cannot enter? Why? Dongbua Shuang asked. A forbidden ground. Rest assured, you will know once you reach the gathering grounds. Those who have lived in this world for a long time should know how frightening the Sea of Abyss is. The black-robed male said. Dongbua Shuang nodded. Following that, his expression changed slightly. His stomach actually growled. So hungry. Ever since Shuang had become a transcendent, he had never felt hungry again in the long years since then. But at this moment, an intense hunger came from his stomach. His stomach seemed to be crazily wanting to eat. This hunger engulfed his entire body, causing Dongbua Shui Ying to tremble uncontrollably. This hunger was becoming stronger and stronger. Food. Dongbua Shui Ying flipped his hand. There were some fruits in his storage wristband. Flipping his hand, he took out a huge red fruit and swallowed it in 2 mouthfuls. But after swallowing it, it was digested rapidly. It did not alleviate his hunger at all. I've said before, the black-robed male grinned when he saw that. It isn't easy to survive in this world. Under the laws, the stronger a life form is, the more food they require. Otherwise, their hunger would only grow stronger until they starve to death. Starve to death? Dongbua Shui Ying was stunned, reaching their level of strength. How could they starve to death? Ordinary food is useless. If you want to fill your stomach, there's practically only one option: to kill those innate chaotic origin life forms and eat their flesh. Only when the energy in the flesh of chaotic origin life forms is sufficient would it suffice. The black-robed male said. The final chapter began. After today, it would be replenished in the second half of the month. Star. Chapter 1338. He was truly hungry. His stomach had even begun digesting the energy in his body. If his fleshy body continued digesting, he would most likely turn into a bag of bones in a short time. His body would be completely consumed within half a year, and he would lose his life. Dongbua Shui Ying could not care about anything else. He immediately controlled a portion of the energy formed from the disintegration of his body and infused it into his stomach, alleviating this hunger. After coming to this world, due to the different laws, his fleshy body had dropped from the late-stage God-Emperor realm to the middle-stage God-Emperor realm. Naturally, part of the internal structure of his body had disintegrated, forming a large amount of energy. How long can you resist if you rely on your fleshy body? The black-robed male sneered. How can your little fleshy body compare with that of a chaotic origin life form? You are ultimately weak little life forms that have yet to jump out of the cage. Those innate chaotic origin life forms, even though their intelligence is ordinary and their ability to dig out their strength is very low, they are merely at the level of God Emperor. But they are born in the chaotic origin dimension. Every piece of flesh is equivalent to a chaotic origin crystal jade of the same size. Eating their flesh is the best way to resist hunger. Hence, you have to hurry and hunt those innate chaotic origin life forms. Dongbua Shui Ying nodded. In terms of fleshy body, there was a qualitative difference between them and innate chaotic origin life forms. It was only because they were much stronger than innate chaotic origin life forms in terms of realm that they were comparable in strength. All right, the black-robed male said. You have to hurry and choose one of the 5 assembly grounds. I'll teleport you to a location close to the assembly grounds. You have to escape from a location close to the assembly grounds to the inner region. Escape to? Dongbua Shui Ying understood what the other party meant, right? Chaotic origin life forms exist everywhere in this world. Even if I teleport you to a location close to the assembly grounds, you might still be ambushed by chaotic origin life forms. This is also the simplest trial. If you can't survive, you'll be eaten by the chaotic origin life forms. Then, your path of cultivation will come to an end. I believe you should not be willing to die, just like that, right after spending so much effort to reach where you are, right? The black-robed male chuckled. If you are unwilling, then prepare yourself. The moment you allow me to teleport, I'll immediately do so. How long can I stay here? Dongbua Shui Ying asked. It'll be dark soon. The black-robed man looked outside. When the sun rises again, I'll have to send you away. All right. Dongbua Shui Ying nodded. Unable to care about anything else, Zhang Xian immediately sat down cross-legged to recover his strength. The sky brightened again. Must go. If the chaotic origin refinement body wanted to undergo a qualitative transformation and maintain the late-stage God-Emperor realm for a short period, it would take at least 8 to 10 years. This amount of time was definitely not enough. However, with his current realm of the Tao of Void, it should not be difficult for him to create another Great Destruction realm transportation technique that was compatible with the laws of this world. He also had a chance of succeeding before the sun rose again. As long as he created the great world-breaching teleportation technique, his ability to survive would increase greatly. Rip. Ying sat cross-legged. He lightly waved his hand, causing ripples to form in the void. Ying could even vaguely see the membrane wall of this world. There was currently surging chaotic origin energy in the external world, and there were also many inscriptions moving like shackles. The densely packed and scripted shackles made Dongbua Ying feel suffocated. He had a feeling that he could not resist at all. They were on completely different levels. "What are you doing?" The black-robed male chuckled. "Researching the void? Unless you're thinking of researching the void penetration technique." Dongbua Ying looked at him in bewilderment. "You should stop trying. There are many experts who have ascended to this sacred world from many worlds. Those who came here are usually at least at the late-stage God Emperor realm." The black-robed male said, "Of which there are bloodline cultivators, doubt comprehensions, refinement of the world. There are all sorts of cultivation paths, and there are those who specialize in all sorts of escape techniques. But it is impossible to penetrate through the void in this sacred world." The black-robed male shook his head. "Nobody can do it. Comparatively speaking, it is much easier to become a chaotic origin life form. It is impossible to penetrate through." Dongbua Ying's expression changed slightly. If that was the case, then this world would be dangerous. The moment he fell into the encirclement of many chaotic origin life forms, it would be hard for him to escape. In many worlds, don't you call this place the exiled world, or the world of despair? If one could penetrate through the void, how would this place be qualified to be called a world of despair? The black-robed male giggled. Even though the treasure spirit of this palace said so, Dongbua Ying remained seated cross-legged. He continued trying. After trying for 2 hours, Dongbua Ying ascertained that the other party did not lie. What a terrifying suppression. Dongbua Ying thought, "It is fine if the gravity and other aspects are 1,000 times stronger than the previous lightning world. The void is sealed too. It is impossible to penetrate through the void. In the previous lightning world, techniques like teleportation and great teleportation were suppressed. And now, in this world, Ying could not even rely on the Great Destruction realm teleportation technique. Yuan had sent him to a world that was becoming more and more cruel. "I prefer to call this world the sacred world," the black-robed male muttered from the side. "To the likes of you, even though it is much more dangerous, it is also filled with opportunities. The sea of chaotic origin life forms is also an opportunity for you. Once you grasp it, you'll have a chance of breaking through to the chaotic origin level. This is your world of despair, and also a holy land for cultivation." Dongbua Ying chuckled. He then focused on researching the chaotic origin refinement body. The sky turned dark. After the night passed, the sky brightened. "It is time to leave." The black-robed male said, "Let's choose a gathering place." Dongbua Ying stood up. He sighed inwardly. In just a short night, his improvement in the chaotic origin refinement body was indeed negligible. "Which gathering place did you choose the previous time you ascended to this world?" Dongbua Ying asked with a thought. "The previous time?" The black-robed male chuckled. "It was the Scarlet Cloud City." "Then I shall go to the Scarlet Cloud City too," Dongbua Ying said. It was highly possible. The previous person who ascended to this world was Great Emperor North River. Because Great Emperor North River did not have too much time between him and Great Emperor North River. "All right." The black-robed male waved his hand, enveloping Dongbua Ying. "Go. I hope you can live longer in this world." Dongbua Ying only felt the void fluctuating. When he appeared again, he was standing amidst a piece of wilderness. The surrounding was overgrown with weeds that were taller than humans. "Amen?" Dongbua Ying floated up slightly. He floated higher than the surrounding weeds as he looked afar. With his vision, he could easily see a majestic city to his left. That was also one of the 5 gathering places in this cultivation sacred world. I have to rush to that city first. According to that treasure spirit, there should be some who ascended to this world, yet they died before reaching the gathering place. Dongbua Shuang thought. He had heard that those who could ascend to this world were at least at the late-stage God-Emperor realm. Clearly, they had all reached a high level and came here to pursue a higher level in the path of cultivation. I have to be careful. South Dongbua Shuang completely concealed his aura. He executed the Void Devil Insect Body technique and rapidly headed towards the city. His figure had completely fused into the void and could no longer be seen by the naked eye. What a powerful suppression! Dongbua Shuang mumbled inwardly. The suppression was too strong. His flying speed was much slower than when he was in the lightning world. Even a true god could not lift a single rock in the lightning world. And the gravity here was 1,000 times stronger. Chi! Suddenly, an illusory figure appeared in the distance. He stared in the direction of Dongbua Shuang. Dongbua Shuang was startled. I have been discovered. He had completely concealed his aura and fused into the void, yet he was still discovered. At this moment, Dongbua Shuang did not care anymore. He immediately unleashed his illusory realm domain. Compared to the void domain, he was much stronger when it came to soul techniques. He spread out his domain for the sake of scouting. He temporarily did not launch any attacks. The illusory realm domain covered a huge region, a total of 500,000 kilometers. It engulfed everything. Dongbua Shuang discovered to his astonishment that other than the distant chaotic origin life forms staring at him, there were many other chaotic origin life forms madly rushing over from a distance of 500,000 kilometers. Furthermore, there were other chaotic origin life forms entering his illusory realm domain. These chaotic origin life forms were from the same tribe. Their bodies were translucent. There were many violet spots on their bodies. Almost every part of their bodies was filled with shadow and the law of death. This was clearly an innate chaotic origin life form that specialized in shadow and death techniques. Their auras were different, of which the stronger ones could match the level of Fire Phoenix God Emperor. Furthermore, just based on his illusory realm domain, Shuang discovered a total of 53 chaotic origin life forms, of which 16 should be at the grand perfection God Emperor realm. So cunning. Dongbua Shuang was so frightened that his heart trembled. It is actually gathering its comrades, and they're all so terrifying. There were many chaotic origin life forms from the same tribe rushing into his illusory realm domain. I can't care anymore. Kill. As Dongbua Shuang fled at high speed, he immediately executed his third Tao of Mirage and illusory realm killing technique. He did not dare to delay any longer. Chapter 1339. The third Tao of Mirage and illusory realm killing technique was something that could cause many grand perfection God Emperor experts to pale in fear. At this moment, the moment the technique was executed, those chaotic origin life forms that charged over felt a huge illusory realm pulling their souls. Being chaotic origin life forms, their souls were naturally much stronger than cultivators who had yet to reach the chaotic origin level. But they were the most ordinary chaotic origin life forms. Their willpower was far weaker than those absolute geniuses. Wong. At this moment, there were 61 chaotic origin life forms within Dongbua Shuang's domain region. 8 of them instantly fell. These 8 were the weakest amongst them. All of them were roughly at the middle stage God Emperor strength. Their souls were relatively the weakest, and also the 8 with the weakest willpower. They could not resist against the Tao of Mirage and illusory realm killing technique, and were all exterminated. But the others were all withstood, including those that could exert the strength of a late-stage God Emperor. They could resist against it, much less God Emperor with the strength of a grand perfection life form. The survival capabilities of chaotic origin life forms are indeed much stronger than the natives of the divine realm. They are even stronger than cultivators. Dongbua Shui Ying sighed inwardly. He knew that killing an innate chaotic origin life form was a difficult task. In the lightning world, if there were any innate chaotic origin life forms with the strength of a grand perfection God Emperor like Fire Phoenix God Emperor, Hidden Willow Valley Master, and others, only the three chaotic origin ancestral gods could kill them. Their foundations were too solid. Their fleshy bodies were innately strong. Their souls were naturally strong too. Only their willpower was lacking. This cultivator is truly terrifying. This soul technique. These translucent, chaotic origin life forms were conversing with one another through voice transmissions. Even though the late-stage God Emperor could maintain his consciousness, he had to divert 70% to 80% of his heart force to resist against the incoming attack. They temporarily slowed down. So. And the grand perfection, chaotic origin, life forms of God Emperor did not slow down at all. They continued charging towards Dongbua Shuang. Phew! Dongbua Shuang conveniently kept the corpses of the two chaotic origin life forms along his path into his storage treasure. Looking at the other chaotic origin life forms that were chasing after him, Dongbua Shuang arced through the air, trying his best to avoid them. He was madly flying towards the distant Scarlet Cloud City. On the walls of Scarlet Cloud City, there were also experts standing guard at all times. On one of the city walls, there were two experts standing there, motionless like statues. They had been in charge of guarding here for a very long time. Both of them turned their heads slightly at the same time, looking in a direction outside the city. In an instant, a powerful fluctuation erupted from there. There's a battle. The two of them were shocked and looked carefully. One could see many translucent violet-spotted chaotic origin life forms chasing after a white-robed young man. That white-robed young man was currently frantically escaping. At the same time, he was doing his best to defend against the encirclement of the chaotic origin life forms. It's a group of shadow death gods. That person doesn't seem to be from our Crimson Cloud City. Is he a newly ascended cultivator? The two of them exchanged a glance, feeling a knot in their hearts. Newcomer. Newcomers who had just ascended would have to face the first trial before they could reach the assembly ground. Clearly, this newcomer's luck was not too good. He had encountered quite a few chaotic origin life forms. Team 1, hurry up and save him. There's a newcomer. Hurry up. The two experts in charge of guarding the city walls roared out angrily. Newcomer? Because the 5 great assembly grounds were located in different regions of this world. They were all very far away from each other. Other than when they first ascended, the guiding hall would send them to one of the assembly grounds. At other times, it was impossible for them to reach the other assembly grounds. That was practically impossible, because the distance was too far. Traversing such a long distance to reach another city was simply too difficult. Very few experts would do it. Hence, when unfamiliar experts appeared, they would usually be newcomers who had just ascended. Hurry up and save him. Hurry up and save him. So. A group of figures rushed out. Following that, an enormous lump of lightning wrapped around these figures. Paipa. This enormous lightning was charging in the direction of Dongbua Shuang at a frightening speed. In terms of flying speed, it was a total of 8 times that of Dongbua Shuang. Of course, this was also because Dongbua Shuang was only at the middle stage God Emperor realm. But with a gap of 8 times, even if Dongbua Shuang reached the half-chaotic origin life-form body level, in terms of speed, he would still be much slower than this lump of lightning. Dongbua Shuang also saw an enormous lump of lightning in the distance. It tore through the sky and rushed over. The location he was teleported to was not too far away from Scarlet Cloud City. He only encountered the ambush of the chaotic origin life forms halfway through his journey. It's just that there were too many of them. Pung. Even though Dongbua Shuang had a thrilling experience, he could still barely defend against the assault of the chaotic origin life forms. These chaotic origin life forms that were at the grand perfection strength of God Emperor were ultimately affected by the Tao of Mirage and Illusory Realm. They were only left with half their strength. That was why Dongbua Shuiying could continue evading and delaying for time. Newcomer, hold on. A voice sounded by his ears. See, suddenly, an enormous transparent figure burst out from that lump of lightning. This transparent figure was like a bubble. It immediately enveloped the entire battlefield spanning 500,000 kilometers. This enormous transparent bubble then tunneled into the bodies of the chaotic origin life forms, causing those chaotic origin life forms to let out howls of anger. Their techniques did not change much, but they were clearly cruder. All of them became anxious and furious. So. The ball of lightning turned into 8 figures and charged toward Qin Wentian. One of them even extended his right hand. His right hand flew out, splitting into many golden insects that charged at those chaotic origin life forms. Die. There is also a tall and sturdy one whose entire body seemed to be made of stone. He directly fought against the chaotic origin life forms with a long sound. Who? There were also some that turned into fog. The dense fog immediately engulfed every single chaotic origin life form. Dongbua Shuiying was startled when he saw this. He could see that this group of experts held an absolute advantage. Hence, he gradually kept his Tao of Mirage and illusory realm technique and watched by the side. Even though there were only 8 of them, some specialized in domains, some in direct combat, and some in sinister techniques. When they coordinated with each other, those chaotic origin life forms immediately began retreating. Some of the weaker late-stage God-Emperor cultivators even began dying. Very soon, this group of chaotic origin life forms rapidly retreated. After all, there were not too many of them near Scarlet Cloud City. These 8 are all at the grand perfection level of God-Emperor. Furthermore, their coordination is too good. With the 8 of them working together, even Cloud Phoenix City Master might not be able to hold on for long. Dongbua Shuiying was inwardly startled. It's just that I can't seem to understand quite a few cultivation techniques. For instance, that giant that seemed to be made of stone. His body was too ridiculously strong. He was able to send those chaotic origin life forms flying in a head-on clash. He was much stronger than Iron Dragon City Master and the others. Furthermore, Shuiying could not sense any chaotic origin bloodline aura from the other party. The aura of a chaotic origin bloodline was very obvious. It could be easily sensed during battle. Ordinary Tao, comprehension, and cultivation. How can one's body be so ridiculously strong? Dongbua Shuiying did not dare believe it. Newcomer, come over. Hurry up and leave. Don't stay in the wilderness for too long. Those 8 people looked at Dongbua Shuiying. Their appearances were strange too. Some were covered in black robes and wielding a scepter. Some were covered in scales and had an enormous tail. Their auras were all different. The ripples they emitted made Dongbua Shuiying feel that they might be experts who cultivated a completely different cultivation system. South, a lump of lightning wrapped around everyone, including Dongbua Shuiying. It rapidly flew towards Scarlet Cloud City. It is slightly more dangerous outside the city. Hurry up and enter the city. Newcomer, your luck is extraordinarily good. At the very beginning of the trial, you met close to 100 Shadow Reapers just as you were flying back to the city. If we were slightly slower, the Shadow Reapers would form a large-scale encirclement and you would be finished. These cultivators were all laughing. They were still welcoming newcomers. There were very few who were qualified to ascend to this world. All right, where are you called? I am God Eagle Snake. That male with an enormous tail said. Many thanks for saving my life. I am called Fei Xue. I have just arrived in this world. Dongbua Shuiying transmitted back. Star. Chapter 1340. Enveloped by the ball of lightning, the group flew to the top of the city wall. You rescued the newcomer? From the looks of it, he seems to be a Tao comprehender. The 2 guards on the city wall looked curiously at Dongbua Shuiying. Brother Fei Xue, it was Jun Xian and the other 2 who noticed the commotion and notified us. The giant, who seemed to be made of stone, laughed. Haha, it is my duty. My name is Jun Xian, and he is Fu Shan. Jun Xian's aura was powerful and vast. and a faint flame could be seen burning in his eyes. As for the other person called Fu Shan, he was an old man. He wore a golden circlet on which there were 5 rainbow-colored gems. Dongbua Shui Ying hurriedly said, "This humble one is Fei Xue. Greetings, Brother Jun Xian, Brother Fu Shan." Jun Xian smiled and nodded. Fu Shan also revealed a smile. Although they came from different worlds, they were all hegemons who stood at the peak of their own worlds. They had all been lonely, which was why they had chosen to come here. However, although there weren't many experts in the sacred world, they could only be considered average. "We shall not disturb the two of you," the giant-tailed god Eagle Snake said. "Brother Fei Xue, let's go. You have just arrived at Scarlet Cloud City, and there are many things you don't know. Let us show you around first." Together, Brother Fei Xue, "I'm afraid that you have run out of food. Let me treat you to a feast today." There were a total of 8 people in this team. 5 of them took the initiative to leave, while the other 3 continued to passionately accompany Dongbua Shuang. The 3 accompanying Dongbua Shuang were the giant-tailed god Eagle Snake, the stone giant with the strongest body, Scarlet Devil, and Lei Meng, who transformed into a bolt of lightning and carried the group on their way. Brother Fei Xue, don't mind them. Those who can come to the sacred world all have extraordinary backgrounds. In their original worlds, they were all emperors and ancestors. Some were cold and arrogant, while some were eccentric. Previously, they only acted because it was their duty. After rescuing you, they naturally dispersed and went their separate ways, God Eagle Snake explained. "I understand. Now that we are in Scarlet Cloud City, there is no danger. Actually, there is no need of you to accompany me," Dongbua Shuang said. "Ha! There are only so many cultivators in Scarlet Cloud City. Since a newcomer has arrived, we naturally have to welcome him." The towering Scarlet Demon laughed. "Let's go to Crimson Cloud Hall first and take care of the trivial matters," said Lei Ming. "Arrange a place for us to stay and record the transmission mark." "Right, let's go to Scarlet Cloud Hall first." Under the lead of God Eagle Snake and the other 2, they arrived at a hall at the center of Crimson Cloud City, the Crimson Cloud Hall. The entire Scarlet Cloud City was surrounded by towering city walls, but the city itself wasn't that big. It was only a few 100,000 miles. Fellow Taoist, please choose a cave abode. Of the hall, of the city of the hall. B. The cave residences were all the same size, each occupying about 1,000 square kilometers. Tens of thousands of caves were scattered throughout the city like stars. Although Scarlet Cloud City has so many abodes, there are only a total of over 3,000 experts in the city, said God Eagle Snake with a smile. The rest are still empty. I'll take this one. Dongbua Shuang glanced through the list and casually chose a cave abode to receive the token for. Regardless of one's strength, the cave residences were all the same. Then, he branded it with a transmission imprint. "There are many important matters that the Scarlet Cloud Hall will transmit to you, fellow Taoist Fei Xue," said the female puppet. "Let's go and eat some delicious food." The stone giant, Scarlet Demon, couldn't help but urge them. "Let's go to Fern Garden." Under the guidance of the 3, Dongbua Shui Ying arrived at one of the restaurants in Scarlet Cloud City that specialized in delicacies. Fu's Garden. Along the way, God Eagle Snake even explained with a smile, "There are only a total of over 3,000 experts in the entire Scarlet Cloud City, and there are only 3 who are willing to sell delicacies. Fern Garden is the one with the most profound culinary skills. You should know how difficult it is to cook the flesh and blood of those innate chaotic origin life forms into delicacies. Ordinary flames can't even cook it well. Some stronger flames might even destroy the delicacies. It is extremely difficult to preserve the energy in the flesh and blood of those innate chaotic origin life forms while still cooking delicacies. I must definitely experience it. I have never eaten delicacies made by innate chaotic origin life forms before." The eyes of Dongbua Shui Ying brightened. He was looking forward to it. How strong was the body of a chaotic origin life form? Everywhere was filled with the manifestation of laws. And to use it to cook delicacies? Ordinary final realm cosmos gods would find it hard to do so. Only within this Scarlet Cloud City, The weakest was usually at the late-stage God-Emperor realm. In addition to the strange laws in this sacred world, Dongbua, Shui, Ying, and others had to consume large amounts of food. Otherwise, they would starve to death, being forced to consume large amounts of flesh and blood of chaotic origin life forms. Over time, experts who specialized in culinary skills came up with many ways to cook. Fu's garden. It was a relatively quiet garden. Within the garden, a plump old man was currently sleeping soundly on a chair. There are even two puppets serving him by the side. "Old Fu, we are here. Old Fu, hurry up and wake up. Out of the 10 times I came, you have been sleeping 8 times. Why don't you cultivate properly?" The muscular stone giant, Scarlet Demon, shouted out after entering. At the same time, Scarlet Demon was very familiar with the arrangement. "Younger brother Feishua, take a seat." Dongbua Shuing, God Eagle Snake, Lightning Xiao, and Scarlet Demon sat down respectively. Those two puppets immediately ran over and offered wine. Only then did the plump old man wake up. He glanced at the four with drowsy eyes before lazily saying, "I have long reached the grand perfection realm of God Emperor. How hard would it be to improve further? What I need now isn't bitter cultivation, but enlightenment." Scarlet Demon, do you understand? Enough nonsense. Hurry up and prepare the food. Bring out all your old dishes, Scarlet Demon said loudly. The old man's gaze fell on Dongbua Shuing. He smiled and said, "Oh, a newcomer? My name is Fu. This is the first time we meet. Today's food is on me. However, Scarlet Demon, the 3 of you will have to pay the bill yourselves." "Old Fu, why are you so stingy? Just 1 meal." Scarlet Demon and God Eagle Snake shouted. Lightning Xiao, on the other hand, was obviously less talkative. "My name is Feishua," Shui Ying added. "This time, Brother Scarlet Devil and the others have saved me from outside the city. This life-saving grace. How could I let Brother Scarlet Devil and the others invite me? This time, I should be the one to invite everyone." As he spoke, Dongbua Shuing waved his hand, and a huge object fell down. The corpse of a shadow reaper, about 300 meters long, landed in the garden. Fu's garden occupied an area of nearly 100 miles, and there was a huge open space. This corpse of a shadow reaper was thrown on the open space, and it looked very ordinary. "Younger brother Feishua is quite strong. You actually got the corpse of a shadow reaper." Scarlet Demon's eyes brightened. He added, "It doesn't take much for the few of us to have a meal, but we will be staying in this Scarlet Cloud City for a long time. If we continue eating for a long time, we will require a lot more meat. Younger brother Feishua, I advise you to change the rest of the food to roasted meat. Roasting meat is the simplest way to cook in Fu's garden. You can exchange for the most amount of meat, and the taste is great too." "All right, I'll listen to Brother Scarlet Demon." Dongbua Shuing nodded with a smile. At the same time, he sighed ruefully. Innate chaotic origin life forms would have huge bodies if they were in the Broken Teeth mountain range. They might even be more than 50 million kilometers long. But in the lightning world, due to the law suppression, the chaotic origin life forms were much smaller outside. In this sacred world, the suppression was even more terrifying, and the chaotic origin life forms were even smaller. Previously, when his illusory realm domain covered a region of 500,000 kilometers, he discovered a large group of shadow reapers. Furthermore, there were quite a few grand perfection God Emperor life forms. Like the 2 corpses he caught, they were the weakest middle stage God Emperor life forms. Their bodies were also the smallest. The size of a chaotic origin life form corresponded to its strength. Like those 2 terrifying chaotic origin life forms that could injure you on in the past, their bodies were about 1/10 the size of an enormous origin world. The 2 corpses could transform into an enormous Broken Teeth mountain range world. So fragrant. Dongbua Shuing and the others were drinking and chatting when they suddenly smelled the fragrance. Clearly, that old man Fu and was currently cooking. Chapter 1341. Brother Feishua, the most important thing to survive in the sacred world is food, Eagle Snake said emotionally. Without enough food, we will starve to death. So, the amount of food we have determines how long we can live. Food is lifespan. Crimson Demon nodded emotionally. Since I was born, I have never known hunger. I jumped out of the river of time and lived forever. Who would have thought that I would become one of the 3 monarchs of the myriad races in our world, an absolutely invincible existence? Because I was too lonely, tired of those days, and longed to jump out of the cage. That's why I went to this forbidden land. Who would have thought that I would taste hunger the moment I came here? I didn't even feel this when I was a baby. Now, even my lifespan depends on food. Without food, I will starve to death. As Dongbua Shuang listened, he realized the importance of food. He wanted to meditate. Meditate for 100 billion years in the sacred world. In order to do that, he had to prepare enough food for 100 billion years. Because of food, we have to go out and hunt. Although we are very careful, some of our companions will die, Eagle Snake said. Food is not easy, Lei Meng muttered. Shut up, Crimson Demon and Eagle Snake said at the same time. Lei Meng smiled, picked up his wine cup, and drank without saying anything. Food is not easy for most of the experts in the city. But for you, Lei Meng, you lack food? Eagle Snake sneered. Crimson Demon explained to the confused Dongbua Shuang. Brother Fei Shue, you don't know this, but in the sacred world, we can't travel through the void. We can only fly. But when we go out to fight or save people, speed is very important. In terms of speed, Lei Meng ranks second in the whole Scarlet Cloud City. Even the 3 city lords are not as fast as him. With such a terrifying speed, many teams that want to leave the city will ask him for help. Once in a while, he will go out and help people. With his speed, he can carry people and run for their lives. That way, he could get a lot of meat. Lei Meng muttered, Of course, I should get more if I bring people to run for their lives. Run for your lives? Normal teams wouldn't even be able to invite you. You're usually only willing to help teams with 3 city lords. Scarlet Demon curled his lips. You are envious. Lei Meng smiled and drank. At the side, God Eagle Snake said to Dongbua Shuang, Brother Fei Shue, in Scarlet Cloud City, the God Emperor has reached the great perfection realm. God Emperor's battle prowess in the later stages is only about 20%. That's because all of them come from many different worlds and are peerless overlords of their own worlds. Although only a few of them come from each world, over the course of countless years, Scarlet Cloud City still has more than 3,000 experts. Dongbua Shuang was speechless, but it was understandable. Just in the world of Thunder alone, there are already over 30 God Emperor Great Circle Stage experts. Cloud Phoenix City Lord's strength is even much stronger than the average Great Circle Stage God Emperor. Within Scarlet Cloud City, there's still a handful of people who are a bit stronger than an ordinary consummate God Emperor, and the 3 absolutely unparalleled City Masters. God Eagle Snake said, We are experts that come from many worlds, but the 3 City Masters are the most dazzling among us. The 3 City Masters? How strong are they? Dongbua Shuang curiously asked. The 3 City Masters are the City Master and the 2 Vice City Masters. They should be comparable in strength. God Eagle Snake sighed. The City Master Weatherleaf is a Tao cultivator. Because Tao cultivators do not have chaotic origin bloodlines, they purely comprehend the Tao. It is very hard for them to improve their strength. But Tao cultivators usually have a profound control over their strength. Many of them could even fight against those at a higher level. Dongbua Shuang nodded as he listened. Tao cultivators should be like the ascendants from the lightning world. They were like him who comprehended the laws and profound mysteries. The City Master has not only cultivated a half-chaotic origin life-form body, he has even raised his Tao of Sword to the half-chaotic origin level. God Eagle Snake sighed, comprehending the Tao and raising 2 Taos to the half-chaotic origin level. He is the only one in the entire sacred world, and he is in our Scarlet Cloud City. Dongbua Shuang was dumbstruck. Half-chaotic origin level. His own Tao of Void had yet to reach the half-chaotic origin level. He was still lacking a step. One had to know that those who comprehended the laws and profound mysteries and comprehended the Tao could usually fight against those at a higher level. According to what the Lightning World said, Grand Perfection Ascendant God Emperor was absolutely stronger than most Grand Perfection God Emperors. He was likely stronger than Cloud Phoenix City Master by a little. This City Master, Weatherleaf, had reached the half-chaotic origin level in 2 Daos. How strong was he? There was only one in the 5 cities of the Sacred World. The other 2 Vice City Masters might be proud, but they admire the City Master and are willing to take up the position of Vice City Master. God Eagle Snake sighed. As for the other 2 Deputy City Lords, one of them is the 9-headed snake ancestor. He calls himself a shaman. Most would fuse the bloodlines of chaotic origin life forms into one's body. 9-headed snake ancestor is the most terrifying shaman in the city. He could unleash 9 different chaotic origin bloodlines at the Grand Perfection God Emperor level. When these 9 bloodlines fuse together, he could easily kill ordinary Grand Perfection God Emperor level experts with a flip of his hand. Furthermore, these 9 bloodlines have been carefully chosen by 9-headed snake ancestor. When they fuse together, they could complement each other and become incredibly amazing. Donghua Shuang nodded. By the side, Scarlet Demon said, "The final Vice City Master Wu Xiao is rumored to be the descendant of a terrifying chaotic origin expert. The bloodline in his body is incredibly powerful. After digging out the power of his bloodline, he could devour the myriad existences. Furthermore, his body is also the strongest in our Scarlet Cloud City. He possessed the greatest power. In terms of strength, I am far inferior to him." Scarlet Demon was most confident in his body and strength. Even among the Grand Perfection God Emperor level experts, he was one of the best. But compared to Vice City Master Wu Xiao, he was completely suppressed. The delicacies were served. Donghua Shui, Ying, and the other 3 chatted as they ate and drank. It was mainly God Eagle Snake and Scarlet Demon speaking. Lightning Xiao simply added a few sentences, and Donghua Shui Ying was listening curiously by the side. He knew too little about the Scarlet Cloud City. The 3 city masters came from different worlds. Weatherleaf and 9-headed snake ancestor came from slightly weaker worlds. But Vice City Master Wu Xiao was rumored to be living in the world of his old ancestor. His old ancestor was an extremely terrifying, chaotic origin expert. Vice City Master Wu Xiao was the most outstanding descendant of that old ancestor. Yet he was stuck at the half-chaotic origin life-form body level. It was because he was unwilling that he chose to fight in this world. In this Scarlet Cloud City, we frequently have to hunt for chaotic origin life forms as food. But the outside world is too dangerous. Hence, we have to form teams every time. Scarlet Demon said, and when we form a team, the most important thing is that we have powerful techniques that others do not have. Techniques that could be of great help to the team. For instance, Lightning Xiao. His speed is even faster than the 3 city masters. In the entire Scarlet Cloud City, his speed is ranked 2nd. Even when the 3 city masters form teams, they would occasionally invite him to join them. Scarlet Demon said, for instance, Ancestor Ying in our team previously. He specializes in domain scouting, and many have sought his help. Donghua Shui Ying naturally remembered him. That black-robed man who wielded a scepter was the first to release a transparent figure from afar. That figure instantly attacked the Shadow Death God within a region of 500,000 kilometers. Furthermore, he himself had turned into a dense fog. Ancestor Ying? About 80% of the experts in the city are at the Grand Perfection realm of God Emperor. God Eagle Snake said, hence, we have to be strong in a certain aspect. Only then we be invited by various parties. Furthermore, we would get a huge share of the spoils of war. Like me, I can only be considered an ordinary member. There is no need to talk about Lightning Xiao. Scarlet Demon's body is extremely strong too. His days are much better than mine. Donghua Shui Ying could feel the pressure from these 2 new friends of his. He then changed the topic. If we want to hunt and kill chaotic origin life forms, we would need intelligence too, right? I'll send you a map of the distribution of chaotic origin life forms. The taciturn Lightning Xiao suddenly said. He directly transmitted the intelligence to Dongbua Shueing. There are a total of over 3,000 experts in the Scarlet Cloud City. Every single one of them will have a copy of the distribution of chaotic origin life forms. Oh, Dongbua Shueing diverted some of his thoughts to understand this distribution map. The distribution map even recorded in detail the techniques that each chaotic origin life form tribe specialized in, as well as their strongest combat strength. This distribution map could also be considered the distribution map of the enemies. Dongbua Shueing and the others would have to hunt and kill them in the future. Their flesh and blood would become their food. This caused Dongbua Shueying's expression to change slightly. Lightning Xiao, Scarlet Demon, God Eagle Snake, and the old man Fu were all looking at Dongbua Shueying. They wanted to see the reaction of this newcomer. Is this real? Dongbua Shueying was startled. Of course. That is why it is also known as the Despair World, the Exiled World, and the Survival World. God Eagle Snake chuckled. Chapter 1342. Prisoner. Dongbua Shueing muttered. He was incredibly shocked. He knew that there were many innate chaotic origin life forms in this sacred world. But who would have thought that there were high-graded chaotic origin life forms? Jumping out of the cage and becoming a chaotic origin life form. Just like a two-dimensional life form stepping into a three-dimensional life form, it was a leap in the essence of life. And there were differences in strength between the three-dimensional life forms, too. Even an ant living on the ground and a dragon living in the sky would be thousands of times stronger. Similar logic. These most commonly seen innate chaotic origin life forms were incredibly numerous. They were also the weakest and weakest life forms. Shueing and the other apex overlords who had yet to jump out of the cage could even fight against them. They even had a chance of killing them. But the half-chaotic origin life form body was the bottleneck for Dongbua Shueing and the others. Only after breaking through would they be qualified to be called a chaotic origin expert. Chaotic origin expert. Only high-graded chaotic origin life forms were qualified to be called a chaotic origin expert. Right, prisoner? The muscular stone giant Scarlet Demon nodded with a smile. In this sacred world, those innate chaotic origin life forms are separated into tribes. Each tribe has at least a few thousand of them, and some even have a few 100,000 of them. And some of the bigger tribes have a tribe leader. That is a high-graded chaotic origin life form. If it was an ordinary cultivator, he could easily turn us into dust with a breath. But fortunately, all high-graded chaotic origin life forms are imprisoned in this sacred world. They are all shackled. Dongbua Shueing nodded. This sacred world should be created by Yuan and other magnificent existences. The Temple of Guidance had clearly been deliberately designed to receive cultivators from many worlds. Rest assured, by the side, God Eagle Snake said, high-graded chaotic origin life forms are restricted by the shackles. Even though they could force their way out of their territories, the further they are from their territories, the stronger the punishment on the shackles would be. They would also become weaker. If they dared to come to Scarlet Cloud City, any cultivator could easily kill them. Dongbua Shueing nodded. The intelligence was written clearly. Those imprisoned chaotic origin experts were the strongest in their territories. The further they were from their territories, the stronger the punishment they would suffer. Only one exception, Lei Meng whispered. Yes, he is an exception. God Hawk Snake, Crimson Fiend, and the old phone were all solemn. Dongbua Shueing also understood what the other party was talking about. Because the intelligence provided by Lightning Xiao clearly stated that the chaotic origin experts imprisoned in this sacred world were all high-graded chaotic origin life forms. But just like how ordinary chaotic origin life forms would only have the strength of an early-stage God Emperor, and the stronger ones would have the strength of a grand perfection God Emperor. The strongest high-graded chaotic origin life form was located in the forbidden ground Sea of Abyss. The Sea of Abyss occupied 1/10 of this sacred world. The entire Sea of Abyss had imprisoned an expert who had reached the pinnacle of high-graded chaotic origin life forms. Its body was so big that it occupied half of the Sea of Abyss. If it were to walk out of the sea of abyss, the punishment from the chains would rapidly increase. Its strength would also be continuously weakened, and its body would also continuously shrink. But even so, once it reached Scarlet Cloud City, even if all the experts of Scarlet Cloud City join hands to deal with it, it would be hard to say if they would be able to resist it. The Sea of Abyss Master is incredibly powerful. Old Man Fu and drank his wine flask. He shook his head. If it were to walk out of the Sea of Abyss on its own, its strength would continuously weaken. By then, we would still have the strength to fight against it. But if we dared to head to the Sea of Abyss, even if all the cultivators in the sacred world worked together, it would most likely be able to slap us to death with a single palm. Dongbua Shuang nodded. The other party's body was so big that it occupied half the Sea of Abyss. The size of a palm was likely more than 50 billion kilometers. And this was because of the suppression from the world. Even though it is dangerous, it is also a huge opportunity. God Eagle Snake said, "The corpse of any high-graded chaotic origin life form is worth unimaginable. It is sufficient to make those bloodline cultivators and even witches go crazy over it. If we could kill the Sea of Abyss Master, the one who contributed the most would immediately be bestowed by a magnificent overlord that created this world." Dong Wuxuang had also seen this point recorded in the intelligence report. This was something that everyone in the sacred world knew. The Sea of Abyss Master represented the greatest danger and also the greatest opportunity. Every time it died, the expert who contributed the most would be bestowed it. Those who cultivated bloodline would almost have a 100% chance of breaking through to the chaotic origin level. And those who were Tao cultivators and other existences would similarly obtain an unprecedented opportunity. But the possibility of breaking through is uncertain, because according to the legends, the moment a Tao cultivator broke through, he would immediately become an apex existence amongst chaotic origin experts. But the difficulty of breaking through was extremely high. Prisoners. Dongboi Shuang muttered to himself. It seems that the chaotic origin experts who are high above aren't living in harmony with each other. Those high-graded chaotic origin life forms are imprisoned here, becoming the grindstones for us cultivators. Dongboi Shuang thought. Those prisoners were all high-graded chaotic origin life forms. The Sea of Abyss Master was even at the pinnacle of high-graded chaotic origin life forms. Yet he still ended up like this. That's right. Didn't Yuan get injured before? Dongboi Shuang thought. The corpses of those two chaotic origin life forms that died could form the Broken Teeth mountain range. For instance, that huge snake had a body length comparable to an origin world. Yuan, Lord Lo Chung, and other existences nurtured them in the hopes of nurturing new chaotic origin experts. My hometown and the Realm Heart Great Land. Yuan and Lord Lo Chung have never imparted any cultivation techniques that utilize chaotic origin bloodlines. It seems they don't wish for US to walk this path. Dongboi Shuang understood that in this sacred world, for instance, witchcraft would absorb chaotic origin bloodlines to become stronger. But this path would only allow one to break through to become a high-graded chaotic origin life form. Yuan and the others would most likely disdain such a path. Breaking through as a Tao cultivator. That should be what Yuan and the others hope for. Dongboi Shuang chatted with these four experts. This sacred world had gathered experts from many different worlds. All of them had some intelligence regarding chaotic origin experts. For instance, Vice City Master Wu Xiao was the strongest descendant of a chaotic origin expert. Because too many experts had gathered here, the experts in the sacred world had sufficient intelligence regarding chaotic origin experts. Dongboi Shuang chatted with them and understood more. He understood that chaotic origin life forms were mainly divided into 4 levels. Low-graded chaotic origin life forms were the weakest. They were ants amongst chaotic origin life forms. High-graded, chaotic origin life forms were considered the second level. Cultivating on the path of chaotic origin bloodlines would allow one to break through to this level. This was already a qualitative transformation. One could easily kill 10 million low-graded chaotic origin life forms with a flip of his hand. World Realm Chaotic Origin Life Forms. This was the third level. Like Dao cultivators who controlled an origin world, this level was already very powerful. Especially Dao cultivators. They could perfectly utilize the energy of an origin world within their own origin world. They were completely unparalleled. As long as Dao cultivators broke through, like refining the origin source of an origin world, they would usually reach this level. Overlords were rumored to be the highest level. It was said that they protected many territories. Those territories that were protected by them were their territories. In the legends of the sacred world, if Dao cultivators broke through with force, they could step into this level. They had seen through the essence of the highest level of energy. Every single action of theirs would be filled with unfathomable might. I've heard that Lord Lo Cheng broke through with force. Dongbua Shuiying thought. The legend of Lord Lo Cheng had spread even across the realm heart great land, even the sacred world. Who would have thought that Lord Lo Cheng is an overlord at the highest level? Dongbua Shuiying was startled. In his hometown origin world, Lord Lo Cheng was low profile and aloof. Many disciples who joined the Star City did not have the chance to receive guidance from Lord Lo Cheng. Thinking about it now, even though Lord Lo Cheng was most likely just an avatar in his hometown, how could such an existence easily accept disciples? It was rare for the other party to give him and Swordmaster an opportunity. But Lord Lo Cheng can't do anything about the destruction of an origin world. The strength of his avatar is similarly suppressed within the origin world. Dongbua Shuiying thought. No wonder it is said that Dao cultivators who control an origin world are unparalleled within it. Dongbua Shuiying guessed wrongly. How could Lord Lo Cheng not be comparable to an ownerless origin world? It's just that his strength was too great. If he descended completely, he would simply cause the entire origin world to explode. An origin world with an owner, under the control of its owner, its strength would be perfectly united. Only then would it not fear the overlords. Dongbua Shuiying had yet to jump out of the chaotic origin level. He was merely deducing from the intelligence reports. Chapter 1343. Dongbua Shuiying and the others ate all the way until the next day. Even though Scarlet Demon and the others were the first team responsible for rescuing the newcomers, there were only so many cultivators in the sacred world. Usually, it would take a long time for a newcomer to arrive. Furthermore, the entire city spanned over 50,000 kilometers. They could easily rush to the city walls, even if they were scattered across the city. Within Fu's garden, Dongbua Shuiying and the others stood up. They were prepared to leave. Fei Xue, these are the roasted meat you wanted. A total of 300 cubes. It should be enough for you to eat for 3 million years. Old Man Fuan passed a storage wristband to Dongbua Shuiying. There was a large amount of roasted meat stored within. Dongbua Shuiying inspected it. The amount of roasted meat was comparable to more than half the body of that Shadow Reaper. After all, many parts of the bones and scales could not be made into roasted meat. Fuan would also charge some fees. This roasted meat was the most convenient to cook, but the taste was not bad. Many thanks. Dongbua Shuiying received it with a grin. It will only last for 3 million years. By then, you will still have to go out and hunt. Scarlet Demon said, You don't have any experience since this is your first time hunting. It is best to find a huge hunting team with at least 50 cultivators. Understood. Dongbua Shuiying nodded. If one wanted to go out and hunt, he could simply send an application to the Scarlet Cloud Hall through the communication treasure. The Scarlet Cloud Hall would always announce the name list of the hunting team. The hunting team would have at least 30 members and at most 100 members. The moment the team was formed, they would inform those who applied for the mission. This hunting team would usually hunt around the Scarlet Cloud City. The danger level was relatively low, and it was only for the sake of food. But even if the danger level was low, there would still be large batches of chaotic origin life forms that would ambush them. All right, fellow cultivators. Dongbua Shuiying saw that Scarlet Demon and the others were about to leave. He added, I wish to purchase the body parts of chaotic origin life forms that contain the laws and profound mysteries of the void. I will exchange for them with twice the amount of flesh, but I will only collect the same body parts once. Also, I do not need the body parts of void lineage chaotic origin life forms. Body parts that contain the profound mysteries of the void, yet you do not want them? This request is a little strange. Good. I do have some reserves. Crimson Devil, Lei Ming, Eagle Snake, and Phone all looked delighted. Fu and hurriedly added, I've killed many chaotic origin life forms before. I've collected all sorts of scales and fur. As a gourmet whose business was the best, his collection of scales, armors, bones, and the like were among the best in Scarlet Cloud City. We'll exchange with Brother Feishue first. You'll be the last. Scarlet Demon said, Yes, you're the last. If you're going to trade, what else are we going to trade for? God Eagle Snake and Thundermantis said. Fu snickered to himself. Not in a hurry. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Crimson Fiend and the other two waved their hands, and a large number of scales, bones, horns, thick skin, hair, and other items were thrown out. All of them contained the profound mysteries of the void. One had to know that an innate chaotic origin life form's body was the manifestation of laws. Some parts manifested different rules. Just like how the eyes of that thousand-eyed creature contained the profound mysteries of the mirage and illusory realm, the other parts of its body were different. Similar logic. An innate chaotic origin life form that specialized in fire might have a body composition that exceeded 90% of the cooldown of fire-related profound mysteries. But there were still a few other laws. Even non-void lineage chaotic origin life forms would still have a small portion of their body containing the profound mysteries of the void. I don't want those that overlap with each other. Scarlet Demon, keep this piece of scale. Based on what? We took it out together, so why should I keep it? You took out more than me. AI. This piece of scale of yours should be the scale of a void shadow dragon, right? Brother Feishue has said that we don't need any void lineage chaotic origin life form materials. Too much. I took the wrong one. You must be deliberately taking the wrong one. I disdain deceiving you for this bit of flesh and blood. Brother Feishue, just treat this Fong as a free gift. They were all absolute overlords in their hometown. But now, for the sake of food, they were all fighting over it. After all, scales, bones, hair, and many other materials could not be used as food. Previously, they were treated as trash and placed by the side. But now, they could be exchanged for twice the volume of food. Furthermore, the chaotic origin life forms in the sacred world came from different tribes, and each tribe had a huge population. It was easy to find similar materials. That was why Dongbua Shuiying said that he did not want those that overlap with each other. He got them for the sake of comprehending and cultivating. Why would he want similar materials? Come. Dongbua Shuiying chuckled as he exchanged for the chaotic origin life form materials that contained the profound mysteries of the void. God Eagle Snake, Lightning Shao, and Scarlet Demon had exchanged for a total of 10 cubes of barbecued meat. Each of them had obtained enough food to last them for several tens of thousands of years. It should be my turn now, right? Fuan grinned. Brother Fuan, please. Dongbua Shuiying chuckled. You are really generous to give out double the amount of meat. Some stingy ones would only give out double the amount of meat. Fuan said, in the sacred world, one's flesh was calculated based on its volume. Because of the suppression from the laws of the world, the weaker ones would be suppressed even more. Even if they could change their size during battle, the moment they died, their bodies would revert back to their original size. Flesh of the same volume would contain the same amount of energy. Fuan waved his hand. At that moment, a dense amount of materials were thrown out. An expert like him would naturally not throw out the same materials after seeing the materials thrown out by Scarlet Demon and the other two. Scarlet Demon and the other two added up only exchanged for close to 10 cubes of barbecued meat. And the materials that Fu and threw out alone had exchanged for more than 190 cubes of barbecued meat. For Dongbua Shuiying, younger brother Feishue, it is too much for you to exchange for double the amount of meat. That's right. You're letting old Fu earn so much. Scarlet Demon and the others could not help but say, "It's nothing much." Donghua Shuang chuckled. He waved his hand again, throwing out another Shadow Reaper corpse. This time, he took out a total of 2 Shadow Reaper corpses, guard a Master Fu, and helped me exchange them for barbecued meat. Ha ha ha, you still have this Shadow Reaper? Fuan laughed inwardly. He had just earned a huge sum from Donghua Shuang. He said straightforwardly, "All right, I won't take any benefits from you for this Shadow Reaper. I'll give you 320 cubes of barbecued meat." Another batch of barbecued meat was exchanged. Donghua Shuang was in a good mood because those materials contained profound mysteries at the chaotic origin level. Naturally, they were hard to come by. You still aren't taking any benefits? Humph. The materials you have taken out previously have practically exchanged for all the materials you can exchange for. Scarlet Demon's voice was firm as he snorted. Haha, it isn't just almost. I've exchanged them all, Fu said delightedly. If I don't give the 3 of you a chance to exchange first, you can't even exchange for a single set of materials. Other than the prisoners, as long as I have killed ordinary, innate, chaotic origin life forms before, I've personally killed them and collected many materials. Donghua Shuang nodded. He had collected everything? Younger brother Fei Shue, why are you only exchanging for these? Void lineage chaotic origin life forms usually have bodies that have a cooldown of more than 9. They contain the profound mysteries of the void. Researching them will be of greater help to you. God Eagle Snake looked at Donghua Shuang. No rush. Donghua Shuang said, I'm prepared to make a public acquisition. Public acquisition? You still have many corpses of chaotic origin life forms? God Eagle Snake, Fu and Scarlet Demon, and Lightning Xiao were all startled. What price did he have to pay to make a public acquisition? No, I don't have many. Donghua Shuang shook his head. Then why are you still making a public acquisition? That's right. Chaotic origin life forms with grand perfection strength, like God Emperor, can be killed. Their bodies are bigger, and more laws are manifested on the surface of their bodies. Hence, their price is much higher too. A grand perfection god is worth more than 10,000 times more than a middle stage god, emperor, chaotic origin life form like you. How are you going to exchange for it? They all looked at Donghua Shuang. I have a chaotic origin life form that I brought from my hometown. I've checked, and there isn't any in the sacred world. Donghua Shuang chuckled. Actually, he had 2 chaotic origin life form corpses that he brought from the lightning world in his stored treasure. One was obtained from the crown prince of Iron Dragon City Master. The other one was obtained from the Spectre Sect Master. There isn't a chaotic origin life form in the sacred world? At that moment, Scarlet Demon and the others exclaimed in shock. No, that would be very precious, because Dao cultivators would pay a lot of attention to the corpses of chaotic origin life forms when comprehending the laws and profound mysteries, because their bodies would manifest laws. A chaotic origin life form that had never appeared before was sufficient to make the apex experts in Scarlet Cloud City green with envy. Under the envious gazes of Scarlet Demon and the other 3, Donghua Shuang used his communication treasure to send a message through the Scarlet Cloud Hall to all cultivators in Scarlet Cloud City. The message was simple. I have a complete corpse of a flame lineage chaotic origin life form that I brought from another world. This is something that has never appeared before in the sacred world. I am willing to use this to purchase the complete corpse of a void lineage chaotic origin life form for 10,000 years. The highest bidder will get it. The starting price is 3 different grand perfection God Emperor void lineage chaotic origin life forms. The moment Donghua Shuang released this message, it had caused a huge uproar among the experts in Scarlet Cloud City, especially the experts who cultivated the flame lineage. Their eyes turned red. If not for the ban in the city, killing was prohibited within the city. Those who disobeyed would be surrounded and killed by all experts. If not for this ban, there would have been experts who would have killed and snatched the treasures. Naturally, Donghua Shuang would not have publicized it. What? A corpse of a flame lineage chaotic origin life form that has never appeared before in the sacred world? The asking price is too high. The starting price is 3 different Grand Perfection God Emperor corpses. How ruthless. Does he really think it is so easy to get a Grand Perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life form? This newcomer is really ruthless. And this is still the starting price. The entire Scarlet Cloud City was in an uproar. The reason why Donghua Shueing quoted the starting price was because it was 3 Grand Perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life forms and not higher. That was because Grand Perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life forms were really hard to kill. Like in a lightning world, it was impossible to kill one. Even in this sacred world where there were more experts working together, killing a Grand Perfection God Emperor chaotic origin life form was still very difficult. Furthermore, a Grand Perfection chaotic origin life form, like God Emperor chaotic origin life form, had a huge body. Just the flesh and blood it could be exchanged for was enough to last for close to 100 billion years. Even though the asking price is ruthless, I'm afraid the final price will not be this high. The few flame experts at the apex are all very wealthy. They felt that the asking price was too exaggerated, yet they understood that the final price would be much higher. At the same time, when various places were in an uproar within one of the cavern dwellings in Scarlet Cloud City, there was another newcomer who came to Donghua Shueing not long ago. He was none other than Great Emperor North River. Purchasing Void Lineage Chaotic Origin Life Form corpses, the starting price is so high. Great Emperor North River similarly received the news. The muscles at the corner of his eyes twitched. Jealousy, envy and jealousy, injustice. He, Great Emperor North River, had always been low profile in the lightning world. His Eden treasure did not bring any chaotic origin life form corpses over. Hence, Great Emperor North River still had to worry about food. He had already applied to join the newest hunting team, because his current food was given to him by the experts who rescued him. It could barely last him for 10,000 years. I don't even have any food, yet he easily called out a price. That has driven the Apex Flame lineage experts in Scarlet Cloud City crazy. North River shook his head. They similarly came from the Broken Teeth Mountain Range to the Lightning World before arriving here. Why was the gap between their days so huge? Chapter 1344. Scarlet Cloud City, within the cavern dwelling of Donghua Shueing. God Eagle Snake, Lightning Xiao, and Scarlet Demon sent Donghua Shueing back to his residence before bidding farewell. Younger brother Fei Xue, let me remind you before you leave. Scarlet Demon suppressed his voice. The experts in this Scarlet Cloud City come from many worlds. Almost all of them are absolute experts in their own world. But their personalities are different. Some are proud and aloof. Some are evil. Some are tyrannical. There are more than 3,000 experts with more than 3,000 different faces. For a newcomer like you to take out a chaotic origin life form that doesn't even exist in the sacred world to compete for treasures, I'm afraid you might incur the jealousy of others. Jealousy? Donghua Shueing felt his heart moving. He had never thought that all 3,000 experts were good people. That was impossible. Since they could cultivate to this stage, the ratio of devils in his hometown origin world, Realm Heart Great Land, and Lightning World would not be low. As for killing others to snatch their treasures, it was even more common. The reason why Donghua Shueing dared to publicize it was because he knew of the prohibition within Scarlet Cloud City. It prohibited killing within the city. Those who dared to do so would be attacked by all experts in the city. Younger brother Fei Xue, God Eagle Snake reminded, because of the prohibition, an absolute majority of experts do not dare to have any thoughts. But there are a few dozen top-ranked experts in Scarlet Cloud City. Some of them are evil and tyrannical. Because they're strong enough, they usually do things in a tyrannical manner. You have to be careful. Unless they dare to act within the city, Donghua Shueing asked. They don't dare to do so. The entire Scarlet Cloud City covers a total area of over 50,000 kilometers. Furthermore, there are many protective arrays protecting the city. The moment one fights, the slightest ripple would be discovered by the arrays. Those who dared to act would be attacked by all experts in the city. They would definitely die. After all, this is a place where we cultivate. We have to ensure absolute safety. Nobody dares to challenge this point. God Eagle Snake said, "But you can't possibly stay in the city forever, right? As long as they don't dare to act within the city, that's fine." Donghua Shuang chuckled. "You." God Eagle Snake shook his head. "Deity Eagle Snake, what are you worried about? Younger brother Fei Shue should be able to obtain several grand perfection, chaotic origin life-form corpses from God Emperor during this auction. Barbecued meat alone is enough to last for hundreds of billions of years," Lei Meng said. "In any case, be careful." God Eagle Snake reminded. "I'll give you a detailed report on the experts in the city." As he spoke, he sent a piece of information through his communication treasure. "Thanks." Donghua Shuang was very grateful. The report was very detailed, and he immediately saw a person called North River. Great Emperor North River knew that there were a total of more than 3,000 experts in this city. If Donghua Shuang were to come, he would not be able to hide it. Moreover, killing was forbidden in the city. "Be careful," Crimson Demon also reminded. Then, Crimson Devil, God Hawk Snake, and Lei Meng left. Donghua Shuang personally walked him to the door. After the other party left, Donghua Shuang ordered, "The two of you wait here. If a guest comes, send a message to me." "Yes, master." The two puppet servants respectfully answered. These puppet servants were brought along in the cavern dwelling. They were slightly weaker, but they could resist against the suppression of the world in this sacred world. They were meant to serve the cultivators. But there were only two of them. "I'll refine a few more." Donghua Shuang thought. It might be slightly troublesome for others to refine puppet servants, but it was much easier for him. He could directly create them in his mirage cosmos. He could directly turn illusory into reality. There were conditions for creating objects in the mirage cosmos. Firstly, he had to understand the most minute structure of the material being created. If he did not understand and grasp the material, he would naturally not be able to create it. Secondly, he had to consume sufficient energy. For instance, some of the more powerful weapons like the spear Donghua Shuang bought in the lightning world were refined by a chaotic origin expert. Donghua Shuang did not have absolute control over the materials used. It was even harder for him to see through the internal structure of the weapon after refinement. Naturally, he could not create objects. The more precious it was, the more mysterious it would be. It was hard for him to see through its essence. What he could create were some of the more ordinary items, and it was much simpler to create puppets that could survive in this sacred world. As long as they reached the most basic level of void god, it would suffice. Hoo. Just the time taken to brew a cup of tea later, a total of 6 puppet servants were created. They were actually 6 female attendants. Cultivating in the cavern dwelling, Shuang naturally left the miscellaneous matters to the servants. Delightful. Donghua Shuang sat within a garden. He was drinking wine and eating the roasted meat in big mouthfuls. The roasted meat was placed within the storage space. Time was restricted within the storage space. When the roasted meat was taken out, it looked as if it had just been cooked. By the side, 2 female attendants were pouring wine and serving him. "I'm full." Donghua Shuang waved his hand and kept the roasted meat. Following that, with a thought, 9 pieces of scales appeared in front of him. These scales were filled with law inscriptions that contained the profound mysteries of the void. Previously, he had bought a large amount of miscellaneous materials. Observing and comprehending, there are many chaotic origin life-form materials that contain the profound mysteries of the void in this sacred world. From this point, it is truly a holy land for cultivation. Donghua Shuang sighed inwardly. It's a pity that there aren't any materials related to the mirage and illusory realm. In the entire sacred world, there were no innate chaotic origin life forms that cultivated the mirage and illusory realm lineage. Even if other chaotic origin life forms had body materials that contained the profound mysteries of the mirage and illusory realm, similarly, there were none. Donghua Shui Ying had previously asked Fu, and when he was in Fu's garden. Profound mysteries of the mirage and illusory realm are hard to find even on chaotic origin life forms. Donghua Shui thought, in his hometown origin world, that myriad tentacles dragon sun that was imprisoned in the three fire prison realms cauldron contained an extremely small portion of the profound mysteries of the Tao of mirage and illusory realm. It's just that it was too rare. Donghua Shui did not know. Even though the myriad tentacles dragon sun was weak, its bloodline was incredibly noble. It was the child body of the myriad tentacles dragon mother. The myriad tentacles dragon mother was one of the most terrifying innate chaotic origin life forms. Yuan and other existences had to work together before they could kill it. Yuan had even bestowed a droplet of the myriad tentacles dragon mother's heart blood, allowing Donghua Shui Ying's soul to undergo a transformation. Of course, Donghua Shui did not know about this, and the other thousand-eyed existence. It was also one of the two terrifying chaotic origin life forms that transformed into the Broken Teeth mountain range. It could even injure Yuan. Clearly, chaotic origin life forms that contained profound mysteries of the mirage and illusory realm had extremely noble bloodlines. At least in this sacred world, there wasn't a single one. Within the sacred world, there were many clans, and there were many of them, and having a high number meant that the bloodline wasn't that noble. The higher the grade of an innate chaotic origin life form, the rarer their numbers would be. Time passed day by day. Donghua Shui was completely immersed in cultivation within his cavern dwelling. Even though he would occasionally research on that void lineage chaotic origin life form that he brought over from the lightning world, it was hard for him to reap any benefits. And these brand new chaotic origin life form materials allowed him to gain a huge amount of comprehension every single day, allowing his improvement in the chaotic origin refinement body to be much faster than expected. Just half a month later, Donghua Shui had a flash of inspiration. He figured out a method to maintain the late-stage God-Emperor fleshy body for a short period. It seems I should be able to recover my fleshy body to the level of the late-stage God-Emperor fleshy body within 100,000 years. Donghua Shui thought optimistically. Under the laws of a different world, his strength would once again increase. It would also allow his accumulations in the Tao of Void to become more profound. Didn't God Eagle Snake, Scarlet Demon, and the others ask me to be more careful? There might be experts in Scarlet Cloud City who are jealous of me? As Donghua Shui cultivated, he sighed, but why is it that not a single person has come to seek trouble after half a month? Chapter 1345. In the Scarlet Cloud City, there were indeed experts who came to visit Donghua Shui. Brother Fei Shue, I wonder if it is possible for you to let me have a look at that chaotic origin life form, since you want us to compete for the treasure? A red-haired male came to visit. Of course you can. Brother Yinsu, please have a look. Donghua Shui flipped his hand before bringing out a storage Eden treasure. I have already released the restrictions. Brother Yinsu, you can use your consciousness to have a look. That red-haired male immediately looked carefully. He saw that flame lineage chaotic origin life form within the storage Eden treasure. This chaotic origin life form was like a majestic volcano. Its body was faintly shrouded in flames. It was incredibly powerful. This was also one of the gifts that Shadow Lord gave to Donghua Shui. Donghua Shui was currently feeling apprehensive. If he knew that chaotic origin life forms were so important in this sacred world, he would have asked for the corpse of a chaotic origin life form when he was at the Lightning World to Shadow Lord, Iron Dragon City Master, and Wise Wizard City Master. Naturally, he would not have thought that the second world he came to would be like this. I have suppressed quite a few experts in the Lightning World. That was how I got these rewards. That great Emperor North River has always been low profile. I believe you should not have any chaotic origin life form corpses. The latest list of applicants for the hunting team has North River's name. Ying chuckled inwardly. It was forbidden to kill within the city. He had never thought of dealing against Great Emperor North River. Given their identities, it was natural for them to live together peacefully. But if there was a chance, not just Ying or North River, they would not show any mercy to the other party. Good. It is indeed a flame lineage chaotic origin life form that I have never seen before. From the remnant aura after its death, it should be at the middle stage God Emperor strength? The red-haired male said. That's right. Ying nodded. It's a pity that it is slightly weak. The red-haired male said. It is indeed slightly weak. It can't compare with the sacred world. Within the sacred world, it is quite common to see the corpse of a late-stage God Emperor chaotic origin life form. Ying smiled. He couldn't be bothered to argue with them. His treasure was precious, and it was so precious that it couldn't be found in the sacred world. The red-haired man nodded slightly and said no more. He stood up and said, All right, Brother Feishue, I'll take my leave first. Please. Ying stood up to send him off. Following that, more and more experts came to take a look. After all, even though Ying had publicly announced this matter, if he did not see it with his own eyes, why would he go all out to prepare for it? One day, a short old man arrived at the entrance of Ying's cave abode. There were 2 puppets standing guard at the entrance. Go and pass a message to your master. Tell him that I, Fan, want to see him. The short old man's eyelids drooped, and there was a faint red glow in his eyes. As the guardian puppets were refined by Ying, they were able to communicate directly with Ying using their spirit transmissions. After which, one of the guardian puppets replied, My master invites you. Please follow me. Yes, the short old man acknowledged before walking in. Under the guidance of the guardian puppets, they soon arrived at a garden. Ying had already stood up to welcome them. Greetings, Brother Fan. Ying was relatively polite. No other choice. Fan was a Dao cultivator who had reached the half-chaotic origin life form body level. In terms of strength, he was likely stronger than even Cloud Phoenix City Master by Strand. In Scarlet Cloud City, he was absolutely one of the top few experts. He was even vaguely qualified to be ranked in the top 10. Fan. He had 2 specialties. One was his powerful fleshy body. Disregarding other aspects of his fleshy body, just in terms of weight, he was number 1 in Scarlet Cloud City. As long as he released his aura, the weight of his body would cause gravity to collapse and time-space to distort. That would form a horrifying domain. With such a fleshy body, it was hard for others to injure him. When hunting chaotic origin life forms, having such a fleshy body would naturally increase his survivability. The other was that he was frightening in close combat. Even God Emperor, a grand perfection chaotic origin life form, could be beaten to death by him. In a lightning world, even Cloud Phoenix City Master could not do so. Fan belonged to the faction of City Master Weatherleaf in Scarlet Cloud City. After all, experts would form groups too. They had to work together to hunt down chaotic origin life forms. Some who were close to each other, were stronger, and had even experienced life and death together would gradually form a firm faction. This person, Fan, might be cruel and ruthless, but he was the left and right arm of Weatherleaf. Amen. The short and small old man, Fan, nonchalantly acknowledged. He lifted his drooping eyelids and squeezed out a rare smile. Brother Feishue, I've heard that you want to let the experts in Scarlet Cloud City compete for treasures. That's right. Ying chuckled. Brother Fan, please have a seat. Only then did Fan sit down cross-legged. He sat opposite of Ying. The female puppet by the side also helped pour wine for him. I think you don't have to go through so much trouble. Fan drank a cup of wine before placing it down with a frown. Just give me that flame lineage chaotic origin life form corpse, and I'll give you 3 complete corpses of different void lineage chaotic origin life forms. Both of us will be happy. Dongbua Shui Ying's expression changed at that moment. Directly asking for it? He was only willing to pay the base price of 3 corpses? Rest assured, I guarantee that all 3 corpses are at the grand perfection God Emperor realm. Xiefan looked at Dongbua Shui Ying with a smile that did not seem like a smile. I've already publicly announced that I'm going to compete for treasures. Dongbua Shui Ying shook his head. If I do as you say, I won't be able to take out the flame lineage chaotic origin life form corpse after 10,000 years. If I go back on my words, I'm afraid the experts in the city will laugh at me. Rest assured, once you trade with me, I'll immediately announce that I'm going to host the auction. CF Fan said, I'll host the auction and let the experts in Scarlet Cloud City compete for it. They naturally won't blame you. If I auction for treasures publicly, I can exchange for 5 or more chaotic origin life form corpses. Do you want to split them with me? Dongbua Shui Ying coldly said. I've already said that I'll use 3 chaotic origin life form corpses to exchange with you. Since I'm exchanging them, then the benefits of the flame lineage chaotic origin life form auctions will naturally belong to me. CF Fan said as a matter of fact, giving his treasures to CF Fan, letting CF Fan sell them publicly. CF Fan, do you think I'm a fool? Dongbua Shui Ying placed down his wine cup. His expression sunk. Ha ha ha. CF Fan laughed. His laughter was cold. Being a fool will allow you to live longer. Just based on you? Dongbua Shui Ying's expression sunk. Right. CF Fan stared at Dongbua Shui Ying. A terrifying killing intent began leaking out. His body even caused the surrounding time-space to distort. Just based on me. Why? You want to act against me in the city? Dongbua Shui Ying coldly said. I naturally don't dare to do so in the city. But there will be a chance in the future. Don't you think so? Hence, obediently listen to me. It's better for both of us. CF Fan coldly laughed. Such a matter of snatching would definitely be known by the entire city, even if they were to trade. But CF Fan did not care. His personality was originally evil and tyrannical. This was something all experts in the city knew. To some experts, the devil heart was their true heart. They followed their true heart and did not even bother to conceal it. Since you don't have the guts to act in the city, then scram. Dongbua Shui Ying roared. CF Fan's expression changed slightly when he heard that. What guts? Don't talk nonsense. Dongbua Shui Ying's eyes turned cold. He waved his hand, causing an unseen ripple to sweep out. The wine flask and wine cup in front of CF Fan were directly sent flying away. They smashed into the distance and shattered. Hurry up and scram. You are ruining my wine and dirtying my wine flask and wine cup by coming here to drink. Very good, very good. CF Fan stood up and laughed coldly. You are very gutsy. You're also very gutsy. Ever since I came to the sacred world, you're the first person who dares to threaten me. Dongbua Shui Ying laughed coldly. Humph, humph, humph. CF Fan sneered and turned to walk out. Dongbua Shui Ying watched as CF Fan left, and a cold look flashed in his eyes. Idiot. Dongbua Shui Ying would never show mercy to such devils. He would definitely eliminate them if he had the chance. God Eagle Snake and the rest were right. There are people who dare to threaten me in the city. Dongbua Shui Ying thought to himself. Other than CF Fan, there was also a female expert called Mo Shu who dared to threaten him in the city. Both of them were infamous. However, both of them were angrily chased out by Dongbua Shui Ying. No other experts came to threaten him. CF Fan and Mo Shu were both terrifyingly strong. They were ranked in the top 10. Even a great perfection God Emperor would not dare to offend them. Many experts in the city were also watching. They wanted to see how this Fei Xue would fight against CF Fan and Mo Shu. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, the 10,000-year time limit for the treasure auction was up. Chapter 1346. On this day, within the sacred world, within the Scarlet Cloud City, many cultivators came to the cavern dwelling of Dongbua Shui Ying. Please come this way. Please. The puppet protector by the entrance of the cavern dwelling was guiding the way. There were also female puppets that were in charge of guiding the way. For the sake of this auction, Dongbua Shui Ying had deliberately relied on the Mirage Cosmos to create more than 10 puppets. This brother Feishue seems to have quite a few puppets. Since he could bring the corpse of a chaotic origin life form into the sacred world, he should be very wealthy. Buying some puppets isn't worth mentioning. The cultivators discussed as they walked. Experts from many worlds gathered within the Scarlet Cloud City. Naturally, there were those who specialized in refining puppets. Just refining puppets with the strength of a void god could easily be done by a small half of the experts within the city. It's just that it was slightly more troublesome to gather the materials within the sacred world. Halt! Halt! At the entrance of the cavern dwelling, the two puppet protectors furiously roared. They stared at the short and small old man who was about to enter. Why? Feishue has publicly announced that he would let the experts of Scarlet Cloud City compete for the treasure. Why aren't you letting me in? The short and small old man, Xie Fan, coldly chuckled. Master has ordered that you are forbidden from entering. A puppet protector coldly roared. Xie Fan. A cold voice rumbled out from within the cavern dwelling like thunder. It roared, "If you dare to take half a step into my residence, I'll directly teleport you out." Xie Fan's expression changed slightly. Within the Scarlet Cloud City, every cavern dwelling of a cultivator was a forbidden ground. Without the permission of the master, one could absolutely not barge in. It was a small matter to directly throw the person out. If the person dared to resist, he could even be killed. Because the cavern dwelling was a place for closed-door cultivation, the rules of Scarlet Cloud City were to ensure that every cultivator could cultivate peacefully without being disturbed by anyone. Very good. Xie Fan had a cold expression. He turned around and left. The other cultivators who entered the cavern dwelling could not help but discuss among themselves when they saw this. Previously, he threatened us, and now he dares to pay a visit. This Xie Fan seems to not care about his reputation at all. He is Xie Fan. In terms of shamelessness, he is ranked first or second in the entire city. These cultivators were muttering to themselves. Dongbua Shui was receiving many guests in the garden. The garden covered an area of 100 miles. Thousands of tables and praying mats were scattered throughout the garden. Some were by the lake, and some were halfway up the mountain. The cultivators who came to participate in the treasure auction chose their seats and sat down with their legs crossed. They sipped on the wine that Dongbua Shui had prepared and waited for the treasure auction to begin. These fine wines were relatively ordinary. They were created by Dongbua Shui directly from the Mirage universe. There was a large quantity of them, and they would be able to satisfy their needs. Brother Feishue, if you don't give Xie Fan any face, he will definitely hold a grudge against you. One of the cultivators conversing with Dongbua Shui said, "Hold a grudge? Previously, he forced me to make a deal with him, and we've already become enemies. Why would I be afraid of him?" Dongbua Shui shook his head in disdain. "I really didn't expect that you would still want to enter my cave after falling out with me previously. What a joke." To be honest, Dongbua Shui also felt that this person called Xie Fan was a little weird, because amongst the experts, it was normal to be evil and vicious. But as a great devil, it was fine if he was ruthless and unscrupulous when doing things. But this Xie Fan was a two-faced person, and the way he did things was truly embarrassing. One must know that the other female expert who threatened Dongbua Shui, Mo Shu, was too lazy to pester him after threatening him once, and would definitely not participate in the treasure auction this time around. An expert had to have the pride of an expert. But Xie Fan belonged to the type that didn't have any pride and was rather evil. Seeing that cultivator laughed. "Then you have to be careful. He isn't someone to be trifled with." "I know. Thank you, Brother Hidden Horizon." Dongbua Shui laughed. Time passed. Guests arrived one after another. Dongbua Shui simply welcomed them and occasionally chatted with them. And then, Dongbua Shui pupils suddenly contracted as he looked at a person walking over from afar. North River? Dongbua Shui was startled. Monarch Feishue. Great Emperor North River walked over with a smile. "That Xie Fan has been obstructed by you outside. I thought I wouldn't be able to enter either." I did not expect that you would come. Neither did I inform the protectors. Dongbua Shuang said, both of us came from the same world. It is fate that brought us together. Why must we fight to the death? Don't you agree? Great Emperor North River said, both of us are seeking to jump out of the cage and become a chaotic origin expert. Furthermore, killing is prohibited within this sacred world. How about we temporarily put aside our grudges? Dongbua Shuang looked at Great Emperor North River. Great Emperor North River was wearing a green robe. His eyes were filled with sincerity. But Dongbua Shuang was clear. This Great Emperor North River was absolutely an ambitious and ruthless character. That time in the Broken Tooth Mountain Range, the other party suddenly turned hostile. Do you think I still dare to trust you? Dongbua Shuang sneered. I'm afraid the outcome of trusting you would be to be ambushed by you at some point in the future. You don't trust me that much? Great Emperor North River felt helpless. Dongbua Shuang sneered. It's simple if you want me to believe you. Just give me the thousand-eyed water droplet. Great Emperor North River had left the Broken Tooth Mountain Range because he was chased by him. Hence, the energy of that thousand-eyed water droplet should not be exhausted yet. That won't do. Great Emperor North River shook his head. This is the most precious treasure I have. How can I get it to you? Great Emperor North River was able to transform into the thousand-eyed water droplet left behind by one of the two terrifying chaotic origin life forms in the Broken Tooth Mountain Range, the thousand-eyed existence. Great Emperor North River understood how much stronger that thousand-eyed existence was compared to ordinary chaotic origin life forms. Its strength was comparable to Yuan, and the preciousness of that thousand-eyed water droplet was likely much more valuable than the corpse of a grand perfection, chaotic origin life form like God Emperor. Why would he give it to Dongbua Shuang? No matter what, at least in this sacred world, we can put aside our grudges. Time can verify everything. Great Emperor North River said with a smile before walking to the side. He directly sat down cross-legged at a place not too far away. He then poured himself a cup of wine and drank by himself. Dongbua Shuang looked at him, but he did not chase him away. There was no need. Let's wait and see. Dongbua Shuang temporarily ignored him. After a moment, Dongbua Shuang looked at the color of the sky. He looked at the experts that came from the various worlds who were casually seated around the garden. There were a total of 600 over-cultivators who came today. That was roughly 20% of the experts in the entire Scarlet Cloud City. In reality, there were even fewer who were truly confident in contesting for the treasure. Fellow cultivators, Dongbua Shuang's voice reverberated across every single part of the garden. I shall not delay any longer. Let us begin contesting for the treasure. This time, we will be contesting for this chaotic origin life form corpse. Saying that, he waved his hand. A corpse that was approximately 200 meters tall, that looked like a flaming mountain, landed by the side. At that moment, it attracted the gazes of the 600 over-cultivators present. Some of their gazes were even blazing. The starting bid is 3 different God, Emperor, Grand Perfection, Void, Lineage, Chaotic, Origin, Life Form corpses. Each increment is at least 10,000 cubic meters of food. Fellow cultivators can start bidding now. Dongbua Shuang said. 3 corpses. The one who spoke was a green-robed girl. Her voice was pleasant to the ears. For corpses, a red-haired male spoke. This red-haired male's aura was vast and mighty. Even with so many experts present in the garden today, his aura remained tyrannical and powerful. Shuang also knew that this person was the wealthiest person in this auction. He called himself Great Emperor Heaven Calamity, and in terms of combat power, he was close to the 3 city masters. He had once fought with the 3 city masters, and there wasn't much difference between them. In terms of strength, he was publicly acknowledged to be in the top 5. And in terms of the flame lineage, he was the strongest in Scarlet Cloud City. Because he was also a Tao cultivator, he was naturally determined to get the chaotic origin life form corpse that did not exist in the sacred world. 5 corpses. 5 corpses and 100,000 cubic meters of food. 5 corpses and 200,000 cubic meters of food. After the price reached 5 corpses, it did not increase by much. Dongbua Shui Ying listened silently. 5 corpses and 1 million cubic meters of food. The one who bid was a black-robed male. He was also ranked in the top few dozen experts in Scarlet Cloud City. His name was Yin. 5 corpses and 2 million cubic meters of food. The red-haired great emperor Heaven Calamity coldly said. 6 corpses. The black-robed male, Yin Yang, continued calmly. Great Emperor Heaven Calamity glanced at it before saying, 6 corpses and 1 million cubic meters of food. Yin Yang became silent at that moment. For a moment, there were no other new bids. Is there any higher bid? Dongbua Shui Ying finally spoke. He raised his voice. Chapter 1347. The arena was still quiet. If there isn't anyone of a higher tier, then this flame lineage chaotic origin lifeform corpse will belong to Great Emperor Heaven Calamity. Dongbua Shui Ying swept his gaze across the surroundings. He paused for a few breaths before saying, "All right, the auction has ended. This chaotic origin lifeform corpse belongs to Great Emperor Heaven Calamity." As soon as he finished speaking, that red-haired Great Emperor Heaven Calamity took a step. With a flash of red light, he landed by the side of Dongbua Shui Ying. He then threw a storage treasure to Dongbua Shui Ying. Following that, he waved his hand and kept the chaotic origin lifeform corpse that was over 200 meters tall. He then turned around and left. Dongbua Shui Ying immediately checked on it, and a look of joy appeared on his face. Within this storage-eaten treasure, there were many enormous chaotic origin lifeform corpses. All of them had a grand aura that was much stronger than the one he sold. It was precisely because the chaotic origin life forms in this sacred world came from different tribes, and each tribe had a huge population. In addition to the fact that the chaotic origin life forms he had were not found in the sacred world, that was why he could exchange for so many chaotic origin life forms. Damn it! In his cave, the short old man, CF Fan, who was sitting cross-legged with a cold expression on his face, received the news from his good friends through his communication treasure. Even though CF Fan's reputation was terrible and he was extremely evil, CF Fan's reputation was not to be underestimated. However, the other experts in Scarlet Cloud City were not to be trifled with. They did not care about CF Fan's personality. Although they would sneer at him in their hearts, they still valued CF Fan greatly when they befriended him, because he had the strength to be able to faintly rank in the top 10 amongst the many world experts of Scarlet Cloud City. Just how strong was he? Even the city lord Weatherleaf treated him as his right-hand man. Naturally, there was a group of experts who had a good relationship with him. They passed the news of the treasure auction to CF Fan. 6 complete God Emperor corpses and 1 million cubes of food. Heaven Smiting's move is indeed very high. CF Fan sneered. That brat Feishuet took advantage of him. In CF Fan's eyes, cultivators were only divided into the strong and the weak. He believed that Feishuet's strength was only average, and that he was not qualified to possess such wealth. The fact that he was willing to use 3 grand perfection chaotic origin life-form corpses of God Emperor to trade with Shui Ying was already giving Shui Ying a lot of face. Furthermore, this was because of the ban imposed by Scarlet Cloud City. If it weren't for the prohibition, he would have long since killed them and taken their treasures. Let him be complacent for now. Humph. In the end, it is impossible for him to stay in the city forever, CF Fan said to himself. Big sister, the auction has ended. The price has exceeded our limit. Great Emperor Heaven Smiting won it with 6 corpses and 1 million cubes of food. Come back. On the huge ice bed, a beautiful woman in a black robe was sitting cross-legged on it. She was the other one of the 2 experts who had threatened Dongbua Shui Ying and Mo Shu. She didn't participate in the auction herself, but she let her friends bid for it. Damn it. I can only think of a way to trade with Heaven Smiting. When he feels that he doesn't need that corpse anymore, he can sell it to me. Mo Shu opened his eyes, and there were flames burning in them. How long would it take to comprehend a complete chaotic origin life-form corpse? That was hard to say, because as long as one did not become a chaotic origin life form, one would never be able to comprehend the laws manifested from a chaotic origin life form corpse. This was also the reason why Dongbua Shui did not bring out the void lineage chaotic origin life form corpse he obtained from the Crown Prince of Iron Dragon City. Even though he had fewer and fewer corpses, Dongbua Shui would not give them up easily. As his realm deepened, he could continue comprehending it. And within the cavern dwelling of Dongbua Shui, after the auction ended, many cultivators began leaving. Great Emperor North River glanced at Dongbua Shui before leaving. Nonetheless, he felt a huge pressure in his heart. This Shan Snow Eagle has an incredibly high talent. He has cultivated for a short period in the Realm Heart Great Land. His current strength in the Tao of Void is not much different from mine. His soul technique is unparalleled across the many worlds. I have never heard of anyone who could compare with him in terms of soul technique. Great Emperor North River felt pressured facing Dongbua Shui. More importantly, Dongbua Shui's improvement was simply too fast. In the Broken Teeth Mountain Range, he is far weaker than me. In a lightning world, he has forced me to flee. In this sacred world, there are many chaotic origin life forms. To him, there are many more cultivation resources. He should be able to improve further, right? If he grasped a half-chaotic origin life form body, coupled with that terrifying soul technique of his, who could be his opponent? Great Emperor North River sighed inwardly. Fortunately, it is hard for those who comprehend the Tao to grasp a half-chaotic origin life form body. It is 100 to 1,000 times harder than us who cultivate our bloodline energy. Having a chaotic origin bloodline in one's body represented that the foundation was formed. What one needed to do was to excavate, and Tao cultivators had to grasp the laws and profound mysteries to create a half-chaotic origin life form body. The difficulty was much higher. CF fan. Becoming enemies with this Shan Snow Eagle would most likely end badly. Great Emperor North River sneered inwardly. He had long decided to avoid Dongbua Shui as much as possible in this world. After all, he could activate the imprint on his wrist to teleport to a third world at any time. In this world, as long as I am in the city, Shan Snow Eagle would not dare to act. I just have to avoid him when I leave the city. As long as I become a chaotic origin life form, what does Shan Snow Eagle count as? Great Emperor North River threw all grudges to the back of his mind. To him, becoming a chaotic origin life form was the most important. After the auction ended, Dongbua Shui began his low-profile cultivation days. With a total of 6 grand perfection void lineage chaotic origin life forms under God Emperor's control, Shui harvest was huge. All sorts of comprehensions were accumulating. Because he had sufficient food, Dongbua Shui impatiently cultivated within his cavern dwelling. Just 60,000 years after arriving in the divine realm, he had recovered his fleshy body to the level of late-stage God Emperor. It was absolutely stable. But following that, Dongbua Shui fell into a bottleneck. The difficulty of advancing his fleshy body from the late-stage God Emperor to the half-chaotic origin life form body was incredibly high. Dongbua Shui could clearly feel his comprehension accumulating. Yet he could not attain a half-chaotic origin life form body. Much less a half-chaotic origin life form body, I can't even exert the strength of a half-chaotic origin life form body for a short period. Dongbua Shui understood where the problem lay. Half-chaotic origin life form body. It represented the absolute grand perfection of a body beneath the level of chaotic origin life form. In theory, it was impossible for one to improve further. But to break through, that was to break through with strength. That would allow one to become the supreme overlord amongst chaotic origin life forms. Countless time-space territories would become their territory. They would be protected by them. Take it slow. Dongbua Shui was very patient. First, he carefully comprehended all the scattered materials, which took him 80 million years. Following that, he began studying those chaotic origin life form corpses. He thoroughly studied all 6 corpses, spending more than 3 billion years. Following that, he began analyzing them in greater detail, grand perfection. An absolute grand perfection body beneath the level of chaotic origin life form. As Dongbua Shui Ying accumulated more and more insights, he began having some ideas. According to these ideas, he began attempting to cultivate. Within an enormous underground palace in the cavern dwelling, Dongbua Shui Ying sat cross-legged. Suddenly, his body transformed. Both his legs became much thicker. But following that kakaka, many of the bones in his legs began disintegrating. Not good. A thick layer of skin suddenly appeared on the skin of Dongbua Shui Ying. He became much more muscular. But following that, the skin and flesh on his body began disintegrating. Not good yet. Even though he failed time and time again, he still encountered problems in the path of cultivating a half-chaotic origin life-form body. But Dongbua Shui Ying was still filled with confidence, because he was clear that it was impossible to cultivate a half-chaotic origin life-form body within a short period. Hence, he was prepared to spend a long time perfecting it. And now, he dared to try again and again because of these chaotic origin life-form corpses. The thick insights he accumulated gave him the confidence to try. On a day on the 8 billionth year since he arrived in the sacred world, Dongbua Shui Ying once again attempted to change the structure of his body. This was already his 19th attempt, because every attempt required a long period of time before he could deduce the cultivation technique. Dongbua Shui Ying's body abruptly became bigger. He was about 100 meters tall. His skin was faintly covered in gray light. His aura was incredibly grand. At this moment, many of the minute structures in his body were disintegrating. The degree of disintegration is still bearable. Given my body, I should be able to hold on for the time, taking to brew a cup of tea before I completely disintegrate. Dongbua Shui Ying revealed a joyous look. Previously, he did not even dare to try with his entire body. The best he could do was to hold on for half a breath at a time before his body disintegrated. That was too short. He could hold on for the time, taken to brew a cup of tea. It was meaningful for him to battle. Chapter 1348. Within the cavern-dwelling garden. Hoo-hoo, the cold wind howled like blades. Amidst the dark cold wind, there were many ice crystals. The ice crystals smashed onto the roof, corridor, and rocks, shattering into pieces. Under a pavilion in the garden, Dongbua Shui Ying was seated cross-legged in a white robe. A flask of wine was kept warm, and there were all sorts of rare fruits around. Holding onto a sparkling wine cup, tasting the taste of the fruit wine, Dongbua Shui Ying softly muttered, "It has been 10 billion years since I came to this sacred world. I don't have much food left. It is time for me to join the hunting team and hunt for more chaotic origin life forms." During the previous auction, because he had a total of 1,000,000 cubic meters of food, he could stay in the city peacefully for 10 billion years. Even though the value of these grand perfection chaotic origin life-form corpses of God Emperor was high, and he had even gotten a void lineage chaotic origin life-form corpse from the lightning world, Dongbua Shui Ying did not plan on selling it temporarily, because he still had to continue comprehending the laws and profound mysteries of these void lineage chaotic origin life-form corpses. Ever since I broke through previously, my fleshy body could maintain at the half-chaotic origin life-form body level for the time, taken to brew a cup of tea, and today, it has been more than 1 billion years. My improvement is minuscule. Dongbua Shui Ying shook his head inwardly. The previous breakthrough was a moment of inspiration after accumulating a vast amount of energy. Following that, he would continue perfecting this body cultivation technique, allowing him to maintain it for a longer period. When his body could completely stabilize and no longer break apart, that would be the moment he achieved a half-chaotic origin life-form body. That represented reaching the pinnacle below the chaotic origin life-form level. Want to improve further? Firstly, I have to spend a sufficient amount of time to perfect it. In order to cultivate for a long period in this sacred world, I have to prepare sufficient food. Secondly, I have to collect more void lineage grand perfection, chaotic origin, life form corpses of God Emperor. I might even get a high-graded void lineage chaotic origin life form corpse. According to the intelligence, there are a total of 3 void lineage chaotic origin prisoners. Dongbua Shuang thought. Within the sacred world, there were a total of 35 void lineage chaotic origin tribes. But only the 3 strongest tribes of the void lineage had chaotic origin prisoners. Chaotic origin prisoners might be high-graded chaotic origin life forms. With their true strength, they would be able to kill Dongbua, Shui, Ying, and the others with a flip of their hands. However, they were still imprisoned, and the further they were from their lair, the greater the punishment they would receive and the weaker their strength would be. The entire Saints world, of all the chaotic origin prisoners, the most terrifying sea of Abyss Master was so strong that it brought despair to others. But other than the sea of Abyss Master, it was still possible to kill the other chaotic origin prisoners. A dragon trapped in the shallows would be toyed with by prawns. A tiger that fell to the plains would be bullied by dogs. These chaotic origin prisoners were heavily shackled in the sacred world. Naturally, it was possible for them to die. This was the message left behind by the great overlord. As long as they succeeded in killing the sea of Abyss Master, the cultivator who contributed the most would obtain a shocking reward. The most terrifying overlord existence amongst the chaotic origin experts is at least looking forward to us killing these chaotic origin prisoners. Dongbua Shueting naturally had such expectations too. The appearance of laws from the corpse of a high-graded chaotic origin life form would likely be much stronger than that of an ordinary chaotic origin life form. Thirdly, this time when I go out to hunt, I can temper myself through battles. It is also a way to test my Tao of Void. Dongbua Shuang thought. Through battles, it would be easier for him to discover his flaws and perfect them. Food, corpses required for cultivation, tempering himself through battles. Dongbua Shuang naturally had to go out. The magnificent overlord created the sacred world and left behind such a vile living environment. Naturally, he felt that tempering himself through life and death would be beneficial to the chaotic origin level. Hunting team. Dongbua Shuang immediately investigated through his communication treasure. The newest hunting team was established by Taoist Hidden Horizon. Its final goal was to kill a grand perfection, chaotic origin life form, Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, at the God Emperor realm. Currently, there were already 33 cultivators who applied. Mount Primal Chaos Serpent? Dongbua Shuang slightly nodded. This was also one of the more noble races amongst the chaotic origin life forms in the sacred world. According to the rules, the hunting team would proceed forward. After killing a Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, they would return. During the journey, they would naturally meet other chaotic origin life forms. They would also obtain food from battles. After returning, the food would be distributed according to the contribution of the members. The Scarlet Cloud Hall Spirit would easily check through all the battles during the entire journey and distribute the food fairly. As for the final target of the hunting team, the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent, the creator of the hunting team would be qualified to choose. Naturally, the creator would have to compensate the other members during the distribution of food. Brother Hidden Horizon? Dongbua Shuang revealed a grin. He had even chatted with this Taoist Hidden Horizon before during the auction. Taoist Hidden Horizon was qualified to be ranked in the top few dozens within Scarlet Cloud City. Apply. Dongbua Shuang did not hesitate. At that moment, there was one more member added to the hunting team, turning it into 34. This information was transmitted to all cultivators within Scarlet Cloud City at the same time. Fan was currently meditating within the underground palace of his cavern dwelling. He sat cross-legged with his eyelids drooping. He did not conceal his aura at all, causing the surrounding time-space to distort and collapse. He, Fan, was ranked first amongst all cultivators in Scarlet Cloud City in terms of fleshy body weight. His body was also unfathomably strong. Even Weatherleaf relied heavily on him. In fact, at his level, Even the three city lords were only a few percent stronger than him. Even in a life and death battle, the three city masters could only hold a slight advantage against Siefan. They could not achieve overwhelming superiority. After all, the closer one was to the limit, the smaller the gap in strength. With such strength, even if Siefan had a wicked personality, many cultivators were not willing to offend him. Siefan was not a fool either. He would still give face to those who were strong and could win his attention. Only ordinary grand perfection, god, emperor, chaotic origin life forms were not worthy of his attention. Because he could even kill a grand perfection, god, emperor, chaotic origin life form in a one-on-one battle. Chaotic origin life forms were much stronger in survivability. It was possible for him to kill one in a one-on-one. 80% of the ordinary grand perfection, god, emperor, chaotic origin life forms were at the moment. If he wanted to kill one in a one-on-one battle, it would be much easier. Naturally, he did not care if he could kill them easily. Hence, he went to Dongbua Shui Ying's residence to bully Dongbua Shuiying. Who would have thought that Dongbua Shuiying did not care about his threat at all? Big brother Siefan. Suddenly, there was a transmission. What's the matter? Siefan opened his eyes. He felt slightly unhappy. He did not like being disturbed during cultivation. He had even blocked most of the messages sent by the Scarlet Cloud Hall. After all, there were too many news about the batches of hunting teams. If there were too many news, he would not be able to cultivate peacefully. You asked me to pay attention to that Feishue's news. That Feishue has applied to join the newest hunting team. He has joined. Siefan immediately checked. A large amount of information that was previously blocked appeared. He quickly received the newest piece of news. It was the news of the hunting team established by Taoist Hidden Horizon. Right now, there were 34 cultivators, and the newest one was Monarch Feishue. You have finally joined the hunting team. I thought that you would never leave this place. Siefan sneered. Scarlet Cloud City was empty. No matter how much food one had, it would never be enough. Siefan had long been waiting for this day. A Tao comprehender who could barely unleash the strength of a grand perfection god emperor. Such strength can be seen everywhere in Scarlet Cloud City. Yet, he dared to not give me any face, not even allowing me to visit during the treasure auction. Very good. Apply. Siefan did not hesitate and applied to join the hunting team. Instantly, a name appeared in the hunting team. Devil God Siefan. Feishue brat. Let's see what you're going to do. Are you going to withdraw? Siefan sneered. According to the rules, as long as the team had not left Scarlet Cloud City, they could withdraw at any time. After all, a cultivator might suddenly have a flash of inspiration and want to go into seclusion or for some other special reasons. It was fine for them to withdraw from the team. But if they withdrew, they would have to pay a portion of food. This was to prevent cultivators from joining and withdrawing from the team. A portion of food was enough to last them for 10,000 years. Without any special reason, no one would withdraw out of boredom. I have my eyes on you. If you were to withdraw this time, would you withdraw the next time? Are you going to withdraw forever? Without food, you will starve to death. No matter what, you will eventually have to go out and hunt. Siefan sneered. His status was much higher, and he was also much stronger. He did not have to worry about food. Dongbua Shui Ying watched the howling winds as he drank his fruit wine. Suddenly, a look of surprise appeared on his face. Because after he applied to join the team, 2 other cultivators quickly applied to join as well. One of them even had a grudge against him. Siefan? The corners of Dongbua Shui Ying's lips curled upwards. He has joined this hunting team as well? Previously, I even chased him out and forbade him from entering my cave dwelling. As expected, he still wants to take revenge on me. Chapter 1349. Siefan's eyelids drooped. He sat cross-legged in the underground palace of his cavern dwelling. He waited silently. Ever since he applied to join the hunting team, he had been waiting for Dongbua Shui Ying to retire from the team. He actually didn't retire? Since he applied to join, he should be waiting for orders. He should be the first to know of the news of me joining. Yet he didn't retire. Unless he dares to join? CF Fan revealed a weird look. CF Fan directly transmitted to Dongbua Shui Ying through his communication treasure. Feishua Brad, I will be joining this hunting team too. Do you dare to join my hunting team? CF Fan, you have been paying attention to my news, right? The moment I joined, you immediately joined? I, Feishua, am truly overwhelmed by your favor. Dongbua Shui Ying immediately replied. CF Fan's expression sunk. He had indeed arranged for his subordinates to pay attention to the news of this monarch Feishua. With his strength, there were naturally some grand perfection God Emperor experts who took the initiative to join him. Because it wasn't easy for ordinary grand perfection God Emperors to hunt chaotic origin life forms in the sacred world for food. Hence, joining CF Fan would make their lives much better. In the entire Scarlet Cloud City, almost all the top few dozen cultivators had a group of cultivators joining them. And the top few dozen cultivators were roughly at the standard of Grand Perfection God Emperor Tao cultivators. And there were a total of over 3,000 cultivators in the city. There were many who were willing to join them. In reality, including Taoist Hidden Horizon, Great Emperor Heaven Calamity, CF Fan, Mo, Shu, and others, even if there were cultivators joining them, they would not easily take them in. Because the moment they did, they would have to be protected and even provided with food. Even though it would increase the overall strength of the team, it was similarly a burden. Hence, they had to choose those who were helpful to their team. For instance, those who specialized in domains, those who specialized in scouting, those who specialized in speed. They had to choose carefully. Haha, you are daring. I do admire you now. CF Fan transmitted with a sneer. In the future, I will make you admire me. Dongbua Shui Ying immediately cut off the transmission. CF Fan's expression became even gloomier. He quickly sent a message to some of his subordinates. All of you, join the latest hunting team. Since those great circle stage God Emperor experts had chosen to side with CF Fan, they would usually have to listen to his orders. CF Fan had a total of 25 subordinates, and this time, he had only deployed 15 of them. Yes, big brother CF Fan. There's a guy called Feishua in our team. Are we going to deal with him? He's courting death. I'm here. I've applied. One by one, they applied. There were originally 36 people on the list, but it suddenly increased to 51. They had satisfied the minimum number of members set by the hunting team. So fast, Dongbua Shui Ying was surprised. The name list of the hunting team had increased to the 51st place. According to the information Brother Lei Ming gave me, the latest batch of hunters are all related to that CF Fan. Imperial Monarch Feishua, please gather at Scarlet Cloud Hall. Scarlet Cloud Hall's artifact spirit sent a message. Once there were enough people, they could set off. This CF Fan is still somewhat useful. At the very least, he managed to shorten the time I have to wait. Shui Ying laughed as he stood up and walked out of the pavilion. The gale carried the ice crystals along with it as it whistled around chaotically. However, when they were 3 inches away from Shui Ying's body, they turned into fine powder. Scarlet Cloud City was merely a few tens of thousands of miles away. With Dongbua Shui Ying's speed, even if it was just a simple walk, he would still be able to reach Scarlet Cloud Hall in an instant. Scarlet Cloud Hall's hall. At this moment, there were already quite a few people gathered here, and there were even more cultivators arriving. Dongbua Shui Ying walked into the hall and immediately saw a black-haired male Taoist Hidden Horizon who was being escorted by a large group of people. Taoist Hidden Horizon's temperament was gentle like water. Compared to that CF Fan, Taoist Hidden Horizon's reputation was much better. Brother Feishua. Taoist Hidden Horizon immediately looked over and greeted. Brother Hidden Horizon. Dongbua Shui Ying walked over and greeted with a smile. CF Fan and some of his subordinates have also joined the hunting team this time around. Are you sure you want to go? Taoist Hidden Horizon asked. This CF Fan is someone who will definitely seek revenge for the smallest grievance. He has his eyes on you, and I believe that no matter which hunting team you join, he will definitely follow you. It is too dangerous for you to go out and roam the world with him. I advise you to rely on Nine-Headed Snake Ancestor or His Highness Wu Shao. As for Weatherleaf, Fan was originally Weatherleaf's right-hand man. The only ones who can definitely protect you are the other two Vice City Lords. Vice City Lords? It isn't easy to get the Vice City Lords to accept me, right? Dongbua Shuiying smiled. You have to have sufficiently powerful methods. Daoist Hidden Horizon said. The three city lords all had extremely powerful methods. It was rare for them to leave the city, but the moment they did, the rewards they reaped would be astonishing. Because their team was very strong. Not only were they strong, the companions they recruited were also very strong. They were either experts who were ranked in the top 10 or experts who had unparalleled methods in Scarlet Cloud City. When the entire team worked together, it was naturally terrifying. If Dongbua Shuiying were to join such a team, Fan would naturally not be able to do anything to him. Thank you, Brother Hidden Horizon. Dongbua Shuiying said. I'm impressed. After we leave the city, stay closer to my men. Daoist Hidden Horizon directly said when he saw that. These are my companions. You should properly get closer to them. Thus, Dongbua Shuiying got to know the other cultivators. Since Daoist Hidden Horizon was ranked in the top 10 in Scarlet Cloud City, he naturally had a team under him. Including Daoist Hidden Horizon, his team had a total of 22 people. Actually, to recruit a fixed team, one had to consider the cooperation of the experts in the team, as well as the large amount of food needed to sustain so many experts. According to the long years of experience in Scarlet Cloud City, a fixed team would usually be maintained at around 20 cultivators. Usually, there wouldn't be more than 30. This time, the other 35 people in the team were all present. Only then did Fan and his 16 people arrive together. Who? The short old man Fan's eyelids drooped. His sinister eyes swept across the hall. When he saw Dongbua Shuiying, Fan's smile became even more terrifying. Feishue Brat. Fan looked at Dongbua Shuiying. All right, everyone is here. Daoist Hidden Horizon said, and Fan, our final target this time is the Mount Primal Chaos Serpent. The return journey isn't too short. We still have to work together. If any of our companions were to perish, that would be a humiliation to us. Fan laughed. Don't worry, I will look at the big picture. Remember the old rules of our Scarlet Cloud City. Killing each other is forbidden within the hunting team. Daoist Hidden Horizon reminded. The hunting team would be leaving Scarlet Cloud City. The outside of the city was filled with danger. If they were to kill each other, it would be dangerous outside. I understand. We will definitely not kill each other. Fan replied. Amen. Daoist Hidden Horizon nodded slightly. He could only do this. According to the long years of experience of the cultivators in Scarlet Cloud City, experts would naturally have some grudges, even though it was forbidden for them to kill each other in the same hunting team. But when facing against a large group of chaotic origin life forms, especially when they were in some dangerous predicament, as long as they did not help their companions during crucial moments, their companions might die. Fan and the others did not dare to kill directly, but there were a total of 16 of them. As long as they watched by the side, they could easily create an extremely vile environment for Dongbua Shuiying, borrowing the hands of the chaotic origin life forms to kill Dongbua Shuiying. Dongbua Shuiying watched silently by the side. Scheming against me? This team, it was split into 3 parties. One party was led by Daoist Hidden Horizon and 22 experts. Daoist Hidden Horizon was relatively friendly to him and was willing to help him. The other party was led by Fan and the other 15 cultivators. They might even deliberately create a desperate situation for Dongbua Shuiying during crucial moments. The final party was led by 13 other cultivators, including himself. They were all idle cultivators. Some of the idle cultivators were proud and aloof. They disdained from joining any party, and more were chosen carefully by the apex experts. They could not be chosen at all. This team actually has Daoist Hidden Horizon and Fan. We should be more relaxed now. That's right. With the 2 of them around, the team will be much stronger. Fan is here? Is it because of that Feishue? Who cares about him? What does Feishue's life or death have to do with us? Some of the idol cultivators were transmitting their voices to discuss. With the number of Apex experts in Scarlet Cloud City, it was rare to have two experts ranked in the top few in the same hunting team. Under normal circumstances, there would only be one top-notch expert in a hunting team. Set off. Being the founder of the team, Taoist Hidden Horizon immediately gave the order. So, including Dongbua Shuiying, a total of 51 figures turned into afterimages. They rapidly flew past the city walls and out of the city. Now you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.